Okay, I think that's gonna have to do. 1 second. If you support Trump, jump in the guest box. Love to talk to you. Love to update you. I'd love to have a conversation with you. Shit. Okay, give me 1 second. Y'all. Oh wait, you guys can hear me. I forget that. Quite frankly, make sure to double tap that phone screen if you're in here. If you're in the guest box, I'll let you up in a second. Make sure to be in the guest box only if you support Donald Trump. We are not talking to friendlies today. I'm planning to do that maybe like once a week, like at the end of the week, like on Fridays. Though definitely. Okay, we're back. We're on YouTube. It's been set. Let me unmute this one. Hold on. Let me fix my charger. Weird start to the stream. Weird start to the stream, but let's see.
I see you have a new prompt.
Yeah, because I wanted to run a couple points here. Let's see.
Alright. I'm excited to see how that goes.
Yeah, what's up? Do you support Trump or do you are you pro Christian and pro life?
Christian and pro life.
You shouldn't be Christian and pro life.
Yeah, what's like argument?
The reason why I say you shouldn't be Christian and pro life is simply because of the Bible itself. God allows for abortions. If God is pro choice, then you should also be pro choice, because God is God, right?
Can you bring up the scripture?
Yeah, it's gonna be Numbers 5:11 through 31. Would you like to read it? We can put it on the screen if you want to read it.
Put it on screen.
Perfect. It's gonna be this one right over here. Quite frankly, can you see it?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah.
So do you want me to read it or do you want to read it?
Yeah.
Cool. It's going to be the Lord said to Moses, speak to the Israelites and say to them, if a man's wife goes astray and is unfaithful to him, so that another man has sexual relations with her, and this is hidden from her husband, and her impurity is undetected, since there is no witness against her and she has not been caught in the act, and if feeling jealousy come over her husband and he suspects his wife and she is impure, if he is jealous and suspects her even though she is not impure, then he is to take his wife to the priest. He must also take an offering of a tenth of an ephah of barley flour on her behalf. He must not pour olive oil on it or put incense on it because it is a grain offering of jealousy, a reminder offering to draw attention to wrongdoing. The priest shall bring her and have her stand before the Lord. Then he shall take some of the holy water in a clay jar and put some dust on the tabernacle floor into the water, and the priest has had the woman stand before the Lord. He shall loosen her hair and place in her hands a reminder offering, the grain offering for jealousy, while he himself holds the bitter water that brings a curse. Then the priest shall put the woman under oath and say to her, if no other man has had sexual relations with you, and you have not gone astray and become impure while married to your husband, may this bitter water that brings a curse not harm you. But if you've gone astray while married to your husband, and you've made yourself impure by having sexual relations with another man, or you other than your husband, here the priest is to
just stop right there. It's fine. You asked a question. Do you think that this bitter waters Old Testament ancient Israeli ritual? Yeah. Do you think that Christians today follow this?
Yeah, I mean, if you follow the Bible, then you should follow this as well. Yeah, you should hold the belief that if a wife has cheated, they should have access to abortion.
Wait, question. No, wait. Do you actually understand the difference between the Old and New Testament? Yeah,
So you don't follow the Old Testament?
No. Jesus claimed that we do not have to follow this old covenant stuff, the old law. So yeah,
Jesus. So at what point? At one point, Jesus.
I think this point is just. Right? I think this point is just respectfully idiotic.
Well, no, it says the Lord caused this. The Lord allowed for an abortion if the wife cheated. It's the Lord. Who is the Lord to you? Who is the Lord?
And also, how would this? Okay, so
you're not going to answer my question.
Define abortion.
Who's the Lord? I didn't say define abortion. I said who's the Lord.
Who is the Lord?
Yeah, because when this passage is referencing the Lord, it says the
right now. Right now, It is the Father.
Wait, I thought the Lord. I thought the God is the same as yesterday, today, and always. Right? The Lord doesn't change. Are you saying that the Lord is different?
No.
God is the God is the same person.
The
man,
Trinity,
you want to say
no.
as he was yesterday, today,
Trinity.
and tomorrow.
The Trinity is one God and three distinct persons, as Thomas St. Aquinas
But you can
defines
agree. You
it.
can agree that the Lord didn't change like 2,000 years ago, and today it's still the same quote unquote Lord, right?
This is the same Lord.
Right.
Yes.
So then the Lord allowed for an abortion since the woman cheated, and actually, I would argue like forced an abortion since the woman cheated. And it's the same God that you worship, right? So in accordance with your own view, you should allow women who cheat to have access to abortion.
I was going to get to that. Yes. Yeah. So my thing is, yes. Define abortion first. That's my
Termination
thing.
of pregnancy.
Determination of pregnancy.
Yep.
Okay, so
Now, if you want to argue,
I define abortion differently.
I'll help you out with an argument if you want to. Like, I mean, you didn't let me finish the argument, but you didn't let me finish the paragraph. I'll read it.
It's because
may the Lord cause you to become a curse.
It's because I already proved that argument to be
no, you
buns.
didn't. Hold on. May the Lord cause you to become a curse among your people. So this is the Lord. So may the Lord cause you to become a curse among your people when He makes your womb miscarry and your abdomen swell. So the Lord is going to cause an abortion.
Dude, this is the old law.
But it's the same God.
What are you not understanding?
It's the same God. Are you saying God at one point was pro-abortion, but now isn't? Why did God change His point of view?
No, wait. Question. What's the argument for God being pro-abortion because of this bitter waters ritual?
Yeah, because it's the same Lord as it was yesterday, today, and always.
Question.
Unless He changed His mind and He's pro-life now.
Do you think that allowing this ritual to happen equates to supporting modern?
You have to be in the app for me to hear you.
Do you think that God, yes, doing this ritual, supporting it equates to supporting modern day elective abortion?
Yes.
Question.
Yes, it's an abortion.
What's the argument?
The argument is my definition of abortion is going to be termination of pregnancy. And in this case, it was a forceful miscarriage. Right? So I mean, in this case, if you want to argue modern day elective abortion, so then you're okay with legalizing quote unquote bitter waters, right? You're okay with like women buying bitter waters to like force a miscarriage, which is an abortion because it's.
We don't follow the old law
but it's
anymore.
You're not understanding my point. You're not understanding my point. You're saying we don't follow the same law, but you follow the same God, right?
Yes, we follow the same God.
So then either A, you have to make the point that God changed His mind when was pro-choice at one point and now is pro-life, and B, or B, you have a second option and just deny that He was pro-choice, which is absolutely undeniable because of this fact. It says, "May the Lord cause you to become a curse among your people when He makes your womb miscarry and your abdomen swell." Not only that, God is the most pro-choice person ever, or entity ever. I mean, He literally gave us free will in accordance with the Christianity view. He gave us the option. Now, if you think it's a sin, sure, but it should still be legal in accordance with Christian views, because God gave us free will, right? And B, He forced a woman who cheated to miscarry, which is an abortion, in accordance with taking bitter waters and forcing a miscarriage, right? It's unnatural, which means it's an abortion. So free will
question.
Free will,
Do you think that do you think that we humans do not have the free will to make laws going going against this immoral thing?
Can we make laws against abortion? Yeah.
How does that contradict free will? Question.
It contradicts free will because God gave us a choice. Because God gave us a choice, or gave women the choice to either A, get an abortion, or B, not get an abortion.
Wait. God gave us free will. Yes.
Women free will to choose.
Question. Now, how does humans using their free will making laws against the immoral thing contradict the concept of free will?
Because God is pro-choice.
Oh my God! Because
are you denying? Is God pro-choice? Yes or no?
God is not pro-choice.
So then, why did He allow women to choose whether or not to have access to abortion? women have access to abortion, right? If God, all knowing, all powerful,
he lets women do this ancient ritual that does not equate to supporting
pro-choice.
modern day elective abortion.
But if he
actual idiot.
Wait, if he didn't support modern day abortion, then he just wouldn't have created abortion. He would have instilled that in terms of making in terms of women like like not getting an abortion, right? I mean, God is all powerful, right?
Yes.
God is all knowing.
Yes.
Cool. So then God allowed women to choose to have access to God allowed women to choose whether or not they want to have an abortion. Yes.
Wait, no. The ritual goes.
No, we're not talking about in the Bible. Currently, God allowed women to choose whether they want to have an abortion or not. That is true. That is, you can't deny that. You
God
agree with that,
gave
right?
us free will.
Right.
He lets women choose to get the abortion if they want.
So let's address that. In that free will, God allowed women to choose whether or not they want to have an abortion, right?
Yes.
So then he's pro-choice.
No,
what are we doing?
No, you actual dunce.
What do we do? Make the argument that he's pro-life. Make the argument.
No.
Go for it.
Wait. God
Go for it.
God is against abortion.
Make the argument that he's pro-life.
But we have.
Wait, no, he can. Wait, hold on. Pause.
But we have.
Hold on.
This dude
We're talking about legally. We're not talking about morally.
This shit doesn't follow at all. It's just
okay. Hold on. I want you to hold on. First off, I want you to make the argument that he's pro-life. Second off, we're not talking about morally. And he left. Bro ran. What, brother? Come on, man. Why'd you run? He gives you free will to do it, but he cries when you do it. Trust me, sure, but that just means that he's pro-choice, right? I mean, he's legally pro-choice. Legally, morally, sure, he can be against it, but legally, he's pro-choice. Yeah, what's up? Do you support Trump, or are you a Christian who's pro-life?
Yeah. I don't support Trump. I don't agree with the former. I disagree with the latter.
One more time.
Yeah, I agree. I don't agree with the former, but I disagree with the latter.
No idea what that means.
Okay, I can just I don't support Trump, but I am a Christian. I see none of the argument or the evidence. Huh?
Are you pro-life?
Yeah.
So I'll give you the same evidence I did to the last guess, Numbers 5:11 through 31. Go to Forrest.
Numbers. Okay. Well, yeah, I don't think that. Well, we need to look at the context between this. I think that Miss Carrie. I don't think that you're looking at the literal sense of the recent translation. So it's a case that when we look at the earlier versions of the translations, it's usually within the ritual of some sort of revelation to the woman of being adulterous. I don't think that those is a sufficient reason to accept.
Well, under your worldview, women who cheat should have abortions, right?
That's a non sequitur. That doesn't logically follow.
How does that not logically follow? God
forced a woman. I needed the argument for it. Well,
I mean, here in the Bible, right here. There's the argument right here. Your own Bible. That's the argument, man. Your own.
Well,
Bible.
that just presupposes. Hold on. That just presupposes sola scriptura. We don't hold sola scriptura.
So then you don't follow the Bible?
No, we don't. We don't follow as the only Bible as the only authority. So we don't hold sola scriptura.
Who's the ultimate authority in your life in terms of
the church?
The church?
The church.
So
yeah, supported by the Bible.
Does the church follow the Bible?
No, it's within the traditions.
What denomination are you?
Yeah, I'm Catholic.
Okay,
yeah, I don't think that. Yeah, hold on.
Does not follow the Bible.
Hold on. Just to be clear, when these churches established, there weren't no Bible of itself, so that kind of question doesn't make sense.
The Lord?
Yeah, they follow the Lord. Yeah, obviously.
May the Lord cause you to become a curse among your people when He makes your womb miscarry and your abdomen swell.
Yeah, those kind of things it's more of a ritual of divine revelation that you're being cheated with. I don't think that this is like something that's.
Whether or not you think it's a ritual, I mean, I can agree. It can be a ritual.
That's fine.
All this
I understand the argument.
All this just proves is that the Lord allowed for abortions in terms of women who.
What's your argument for it?
I already gave you the argument. May the Lord cause you to become a curse among your people when He makes your womb miscarry and your abdomen swell.
What's your well? No, I'm asking more specifically. What's your argument that the translation that you're giving is true, or like it's the best translation that it means this kind of thing?
I mean, yeah. What other translation do you want to take a look at? We can take a look at that translation.
Well, you can't answer with the question I'm just asking you the argument for it.
The argument that this translation is correct. I mean, there's we're going in accordance with the Christian view. The Christians typically hold that the Bible is correct.
Yeah, that's sola scriptura. We don't hold those. Most apostolic church don't hold sola scriptura. Because if it's a case that when we look at church history, they didn't have a Bible until it was canonized around 300 AD by different councils. And so they had to rely. Hold on. Wait, hold on.
Saying, that's it.
Hold on. I want to finish so we can get a link because I haven't been interrupting you. So
go for it.
When it comes to like it's maintaining traditions or maintaining teachings from what was revealed by Jesus Christ, and obviously it's a case. Yeah, so I just know the argument. Why is it the case that the translation?
Repeat what you just said in like 2 sentences or less.
Sorry, did you hear what I said the last part?
Yeah, just repeat what you said.
Oh, okay, my bad. I think I cut off. Yeah, when in regards to apostolic churches, we maintain what's a tradition but what was revealed to us, which is by the word of God, which is Jesus Christ, and then traditions of the Jewish tradition that was already fulfilled by Jesus Christ. So I just needed the argument.
What was already fulfilled by Christ?
What's that?
What was already fulfilled by Christ? You know, you referenced the word of God, which would be like coming from like Jesus Christ. So I don't.
The word of God is Jesus Christ.
Okay, right?
Yeah.
I don't see the relevance. What's the relevance?
Well, the idea is that you're presupposing that sola scriptura is true. We don't hold that view. So again, I just needed the argument that sola scriptura is true, and then second that the translation that you've given is also the idea of the argument, which is on the panel.
I'm not making the claim on the first part that sola scriptura is true necessarily.
Well, no, didn't you just make the inference to say, well, aren't you just a Christian and you hold that the Bible is some sort of authority? Yeah, that's sola scriptura, my guy.
So wait, hold on. You're saying the Bible holds no authority then?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
So
I'm saying that church traditions. I'm saying that church tradition.
How do you know what authority the Bible holds?
Because of the canonization of the church or the church history that's been revealed by the word of God.
Like, so the word of God is Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Said.
Yeah.
Where do we get the you're not making any sense right now. You're saying the word of God is Jesus Christ.
What part?
What do we know?
What part am I not making sense?
Where do we get the word of God?
Word of God is Jesus Christ.
Okay, so where do we get Jesus Christ? Like, how do we connect?
Jesus Christ is God. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
How do we connect with God?
Because of his essence, the type of essence that he has.
We connect with God because of his essence. That's it.
Yeah,
that's the only way to connect with God.
I don't know what you mean by, if you mean by connecting of God, I think there's different ways of like how to be like Christian, like Catholic, like apostolic teachings. So obviously that's part of like fulfilling the sacraments, being a virtuous character, having virtuous character, all those kind of stuff. But if you're saying that we should follow the Bible, that's fine. But I don't think that the Bible of itself is some sort of like the only authority here.
No, I never.
And so what you're presupposing, hold on. What you're presupposing with your initial argument, well, with the inference that you made is that, well, it's a case that Christians follow the Bible. Well, no, we don't do that. That's just like that's sola scriptura. We don't hold that view. And second, the argument of what's in contention here is a translation.
It's a translation. The Bible to an extent.
Yeah, that's compatible with church teachings and the church history. That's fine.
Where do church teachings come from?
By Jesus Christ himself. He created the church.
Yo, buddy. Oh my God, bro. You're fine. Bro, Jesus Christ. That is just, come on now. Come on, buddy. Come on now. That is quite insane. Give me a second here. I accidentally played a sound while I was talking to that.
I heard that.
That was my bad. Let me mute this real quick. What's up? If you're over there on YouTube, make sure to hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. You remove someone because their point is better. No, they just said that Jesus Christ is the word of God. And then he's saying that we are able to connect with Jesus Christ through God in the essence of it. So that's kind of like I mean, again, it's just we were going around there in circles, waste of my time, waste of his time. Let's see. Jesus Christ is the Word of God. I know, I never disagreed with that. Oh. Let's see, what other prompt should we do? That's not related to Trump. Let's think. We ran the abortion prompt for like half an hour. Let's see. We'll do. You made any changes prompt? No, I'm doing a new thing where I change my prompt every so often in terms of the second prompt. But I want to have a conversation about Trump. So let's do Iran. The war with. If I do have I think I see someone that could be pro-life. It's still the same one. War with Iran is. I don't know how to word that prompt. We'll just leave this one. There we go. Perfect. We go on to the next guest. Let's see what this. I feel like this is gonna be a child. Hey, what's up? Do you support Trump? Or are you pro-life and a Christian?
Yes, and yes.
Ooh, why do you support Trump?
Which pro-life and Christian are way bigger than supporting Trump, in my opinion.
Let's start with the first prompt. Why do you support Trump?
I mean, honestly, in my opinion, he was, I guess, the lesser of two evils. He's not perfect. Is he doing everything that I would do as president? I guess not. I mean, none of us are president except for him, so it's kind of hard to critique something that we've never done. I'm not happy with everything, obviously, but
do you critique Hitler?
I demonize him, but yet I do accept that.
We can demonize Trump, right?
Oh, so are you comparing him to Hitler?
No, I'm just asking you a question. You can demonize someone. You can demonize someone even if you've never held that position of power.
Yeah, but that's a false equivalency. Like, literally, are you saying?
I'm not comparing Hitler and Trump. I'm just saying that your argument is flawed when you said you can't critique Trump because you've never been in that position of power. I'm saying yes, you can, and you demonizing Hitler is proof, as well as you should be demonizing Putin, Benjamin Netanyahu, etc.
No, I said I'm not happy with everything. Yeah, I do have issue. I said all that.
I mean, you said he's not perfect. I definitely don't think that a rapist is perfect. That's for sure. I think a rapist is far from perfect. I think rapists should be demonized.
And I agree with that, but there's not a single criminal case. Like I said, there's not a criminal case that says that he's a rapist.
Civil court case.
You do realize that to be found guilty in a civil case is way less. There's way less, I guess, burden of proof, as we should say, in a criminal case.
Yeah, what's a civil case, or what's a civil court and a criminal court?
Just like with O.J. Simpson, who was found innocent in his criminal case, but found guilty in his civil case. There's a very big difference.
Do you believe that O.J. Simpson committed the crimes?
Brother, I have no idea. And I was born in the 80s, so I actually did follow the case.
Do you typically believe civil cases?
It's really, I mean, it's kind of hard because a civil case could be someone breaking into your house, they get hurt while doing so, and they can win a civil case against you. That has happened. Am I wrong?
That does not answer my question.
It does. You said, do I believe civil cases? I said, it's kind of hard to do so because if someone breaks into your house and they hurt themselves, they can sue you for that. And criminals have won that case against you. Not saying you personally, but there have been civil cases. And If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But there
I
have
mean,
been
I've
civil
personally never heard
cases.
of one of those cases, but I don't like you're okay. I mean, in that instance, you just
Yeah.
in that instance, you just don't believe a civil court case. But are we talking about that? I mean, in reference to like rape cases, do you typically believe civil court cases?
So is this one of those like you're gonna ask me the same question over and over again?
No, no, I asked you a
deals?
different
'Cause
question. I'm asking typically now. Do you believe rape cases in a civil court typically?
brother, I have no idea.
So,
In
would you
regards to
agree that in civil court it's a preponderance of evidence, in a criminal court to be on a reasonable doubt?
Oh yes, sir. Yeah.
I mean, here I would just have to. The reason why I believe Eugene Carroll got raped by Donald Trump is A, not only because of the evidence presented in the civil court, but B, his past actions, that are like things that a rapist would do. But mainly because of the evidence presented in the civil case.
Yeah, and that's what I said. Like, I mean, my basis of being pro-life and Christian are way bigger than supporting Trump. He could be a complete piece of shit.
So then, why do you support someone who's a complete rapist? Could be a complete rapist.
Well, someone who's a complete rape.
Could
what?
be.
I mean, at this point, but let's go on. Let's say I concede everything you're saying. At this point, he is the commander. He is the commander in chief of our government, of the executive branch. So I support him the same way I supported Biden, the same way
You shouldn't
I supported.
support a president just because they're president.
But what other choice do we have?
If Hitler was president, would you support Hitler?
Okay, so that's a red herring.
Define a red herring.
Let's keep
hold on,
it
define what's a
on
red
subject. Let's keep it on the subject.
Hold on, what's a red herring?
So you're trying to make a separate point to try to justify your original point.
No, that's I think that's like we're not making a separate point. That's so relevant because you said.
You not
Hold on,
listened to
I'm
anything
talking.
I said.
We've been really respectful. Okay, it's relevant because you said that you support the president because he's the president. If I'm saying you shouldn't support these people just because they're the president, because if somebody's a terrible person, you just shouldn't support them. If Hitler was president, would you support him just because he was president?
I mean, absolutely not. But that's a false equivalency.
You're just saying things.
Define false equivalent.
Oh, okay. So,
So a red herring is something that misleads
hold
or
on. Can you tell me? Can you tell me the 6 million people that Trump ordered to be killed? Can you tell me that?
No, we're not making a comparison from. Okay, this is what you're not understanding. We're not making a comparison from Hitler to Trump. We're making a comparison from in your argument saying that you should support the president just because they're president. What other choice do we have? Well, that's not the case. You're
That's
attacking
different.
your argument.
How?
Trump and Hitler are different.
No shit, Sherlock. Yes, they're different.
Say something comparable. Say, if Harris was president, would you still support her? Absolutely, I would.
Okay,
but
that's
Hitler.
More in line.
Okay, if Putin was president, would you support Putin?
Why you keep going completely away from? Can you name someone in America? An equivalent person in America.
Your point is
as president.
No, hold on.
No.
Your argument is that you support a president just because they're president. I'm giving you a hypothetical question or a hypothetical scenario where someone who did something horrible is president in America. Would you support that person that did something horrible?
That's a what ifism. That is a what ifism.
It's a hypothetical.
Okay,
also,
seriously. Let's make this hypothetical with someone in America. Can you name one person in America?
If someone in America,
make this hypothetical with.
Hypothetically, if a president in America did something absolutely horrible that you thought was atrocious, would you support them?
Absolutely not. No.
Perfect. So you shouldn't support a president just because they're a president.
That is a very, very weak argument.
But you have a contradiction in your own belief. It's not an argument. We're pointing at.
No.
Hold on. Can you please let me speak, please? Can you please let me speak, please? Can you please let me speak?
Please? Can you let me?
You just fucking interrupted me. No, you can't speak because I was not done talking.
The host asked a question. Can I respond to it?
I was already talking when you decided to
So
try to
I
respond.
can't respond to the host question. Got it.
Okay, thank you. So we're not making an argument. We're pointing out a contradiction in your own belief. You say that you support the president because he's the president. Even if I concede and I believe that he did rape someone, I support him because he's the president. But you don't hold that belief for somebody else who does something atrocious. So why is that the case?
I never said that.
Well, Jeremias.
What is he saying? He didn't.
He said he never
said.
Go ahead.
If someone raped someone, that I would still support them. I never once said
You
that.
literally said, let's just say I concede to all of this stuff, and Trump did rape someone. He's still the commander of our.
You did say that, yeah. You did
Yeah.
say that.
I never said if Trump did rape. I never said that.
You said let's concede all of this is true. That's not verbatim, but you said let's concede that I agree
Exactly,
with you. I would
it's not
still support
verbatim.
him.
You're making up.
You know what? Let's just go. You know what?
said.
You're right. Let's just go back. How about that? How about we'll just roll back the clip?
Cool.
President because he's the president.
It's a hypothetical.
Okay, America, can you name one person?
Okay.
Line?
Okay, if Putin. Make me
Taking
do all
a
this work
while.
when you know what you said, bro. Just you're not understanding. We're not making up.
I mean, absolutely not. But that's a false equivalency to try to justify taking a your while.
original
point. Oh,
Make me
yes, sir.
sound
Yeah.
yet. I mean, here I would just have to. The reason why I believe Eugene Carroll got raped by Donald Trump is into the civil.
The basis of being pro-life and Christian, piece of shit.
So then, why do you support someone who's a complete rapist? Could be a complete rapist.
Well, someone who's a complete rape.
Could
what?
be.
I mean, at this point, let's go on. Let's say I concede to everything you're saying at this point.
Let's say I concede to everything I'm saying, which included Donald Trump being a rapist.
He is the commander. He is the commander-in-chief of our government, of the executive branch. So I support him the same way I supported.
Let's say I concede to everything you say, which I said Donald
Wait,
Trump was a
wait,
rapist, so
wait,
you
wait,
conceded
hold on.
Donald
Why'd
Trump
you
was
cut
a
it off?
rapist, and then you said
Why'd
he's
you
a
cut it off
commander-in-chief,
there?
I still support him.
Why'd you cut it off? Why'd you cut it off?
My bad. You know
Of
what
the
you said.
executive branch. So I support him the same way I supported Biden. The same way I
You
supported.
shouldn't support.
I
You,
support.
you know what you said. Why are you trying to
Oh, wait. What did I say?
support a president just because they're president?
So I said
What
I
are the
support
choices?
him. The same way I
no,
supported
you said
Biden.
hold on. You said I'll concede everything you're saying is correct, which was that that Donald Trump was a rapist, and then you said even though I concede, I still
I
support
said,
him because
let's
he's a
say.
commander-in-chief.
I said, let's say I can. Brother, we're talking semantics right now.
Because you said you
Okay.
didn't say that. That's exactly what you said.
That's funny. Because y'all literally said, y'all's equivalency was, okay, if you support Trump, would you support Hitler? Would you
Oh my God.
support,
Oh my God. Okay, we were trying to point out the contradiction in your argument. Listen, okay? You said that you. No, pause, please. You said that you support Trump because he's the president. You said, let's concede, or let's say I concede about all the things you're saying. We were talking about how he raped someone, okay? You said, let's say I concede about all the things you're saying, and you're right. I still support him because he's the president, the same way I supported Biden. Okay, so we asked
what was
you.
the original thing
Hold
I
on.
said?
We just fucking listened to it, dude. That's what you said. Can you please
Why are
pause
you
and let me
cussing?
finish a sentence? I don't think you've let me finish a sentence this whole fucking time. So yeah, I'm getting a little fucking annoyed. So
That's what y'all do.
because you won't shut the fuck up for more than a minute. Jesus Christ.
I literally
Anyway,
said, okay, now you're doing blasphemy, so that's completely arrogant.
okay, I don't
arrogant.
care. Okay,
So my original statement at the
can I
beginning,
finish my point? Oh my God.
you're lying right now. That's the issue.
What did I lie about? We literally just played the clip back.
No, what was my original statement before all
God,
this
we
started?
fucking already went over this. I'm so sorry. I played back the clip. I didn't
My
have
original
to do that, but you tried to
statement was-
gaslight me and said you said something you actually didn't.
My original statement was being pro-life and a Christian. was
No, okay.
way more.
Can you let
my-
Reagan
my faith
Reagan
in
make her
Trump.
point first, and then we can go on to being the pro-life Christian. Go for it. Make your argument. Make your
Sure.
argument, Reagan.
Okay. All we're trying to say is that you have a contradiction in your own belief because you said verbatim, let's say I concede and that everything you're saying is right. Okay. We were talking about Trump raping E. Jean Carroll. You then said, I still support him because he's the commander in chief of our government and he's our president. I support him the same way I supported Biden. Okay. We asked you if somebody else in America, because you didn't like our other example, we asked you if somebody else in America was president and did something that you saw as like fucking terrible. If somebody did something terrible, if you would still support them, you said absolutely not. Okay, so either one, you just don't think rape is that terrible, or two, you don't stick to your own personal beliefs and you have a contradiction. So which is it?
And then one more thing, play the clip with
So-
context, bro. You heard the conversation. You know the
So-
context. You were here
so
for the
let's say-
conversation.
So
Go
let's
for it.
say Trump did. Let's say Trump did rape someone or any other million lies made against him. I would be the first one to say not only should be castrated, but he should be unalived for that offense.
Whoa! You just called for the unalivement of the current president. What are you doing? You just said, hold on. You just said, let's say he did these things. He should be unalived. Donald Trump
Yeah.
did these things, which means you believe he should be
Give
unalived. That's a
proof.
felony. You can't say that. That is
the
a
proof of
felony. You cannot say that.
that. So y'all can give a hypothetical, but I can't.
That's
Wow.
a felony.
That's
You
a double
literally just said,
standard.
you pause. You said if he does this, he should be unalived. He did this, therefore, under your worldview, you just called for his unalivement.
Well, no.
Horrible
Give the proof of
hypothetical,
that.
bro.
I said if he did,
He
but
did
there's
do
not a
this.
single.
Civil
There's
court
not a
case.
single-
He also admitted to sexual exploitation. He said, "I grabbed
There's
women
not
by
a-
the vagina without asking them." That's rape. If you don't ask someone before you try to do something with them,
No,
that's
he
rape.
never said that.
Yes, he did.
Okay, no, he said grab him by the kidney
Without asking,
He
which is
never-
rape. You
Bro.
just called for the unalivement of the current
Bro,
city president, bro. You're gonna
y'all-
have
this is
Secret
what y'all
Service
are
knocking
doing.
on your door, bro.
This is what y'all are doing. Y'all are doing this whole rigmarole.
Well, let me just explain how you just called for.
And
I
it's
mean, a
really
civil court case.
sad.
A civil court case ruled he raped E. Jean Carroll. He admitted to sexual exploitation of young women and children, and then he said he grabs women by the pussy.
What did I
without
say
asking
about
them.
civil court cases? What did I
That
say
you don't believe?
about
I'm sure the
civil
first
court
one's out.
cases?
He admitted to sexual exploitation.
Exactly. Oh, wait.
There's
so I
still two
didn't
other
say-
points.
Oh,
There's
wow.
still, I don't want to get into the first point because you're
So
like in a
can
cult. You're in a cult. You're gonna deny it. But he
So
admitted to
can we
sexual
move
exploitation.
on?
He admitted to sexual exploitation,
So
and he
why
said he
are
grabs
you
women by
so
the pussy
afraid to
without
move
asking them.
on? Why are you so afraid to move on to what I
not.
actually believe in?
I genuinely believe Donald Trump is a rapist.
Okay, so let's talk about what I actually believe in. Because, like I said at the beginning, I'm pro-life and a
Yeah,
Christian.
what denomination
first.
are you?
I'm non-denominational. I believe in Jesus. I read the Torah. I read the Gospel. Not only that, but I've also read parts of the Quran that actually shows that the Bible is the authority over the Quran.
So you think the Bible holds the authority?
Absolutely, I do. Do you want me to give you the verses
Wait,
in the
hold on. Which
Quran
Bible?
that
Which Bible?
shows?
Yeah, which Bible? I mean, no. What version of the Bible? NIV, King
Oh,
James. Which one?
bro.
Which one?
I mean, I've read NIV.
No, which one do you prefer?
I like several of them because you get this, just like with the Quran, you have the Hobbs.
Well, is
you
the
have
NIV acceptable for you?
I mean, sure. I mean, I'm not sure what.
I mean, this is right here. It says right here in the Bible, Numbers 5:11 through 31. May the Lord cause you to become a curse among your people when He makes your womb miscarry and your
why
abdomen
can't
swell.
you let me finish?
I just proved to you in the Bible, God is pro-choice.
So which Quran is it? The Quran? Is it the Warsh? Is it the
This is
Hafs?
the,
Like which?
This is going to be the
I mean,
New International Version. It's going to be the Christian Bible.
Okay.
The ones that Christians follow typically. It's going to be the NIV. Like I said, King James Version is also acceptable. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, there's several
Yeah, I'm a Christian, read the
translations,
Torah,
just
yeah.
like with the Quran.
So which translation do you accept?
It's not what translation do I accept. I accept all of them.
So then you accept that
His-
that God is pro-choice. The Christian God is pro-choice.
There is no, bro.
May the Lord cause you to become a curse among your people when he makes your womb miscarry and your abdomen swell. It's just in reference to a woman that cheated. He is pro-choice when it comes to women who cheat.
No, not at all. So is that in the New Testament?
Old Testament.
Exactly. So we're under a new
So
covenant.
then wait. So then the Bible doesn't
Through
hold ultimate
Jesus?
authority, then, right?
Not at all. So did Jesus not
You just
say?
said it did. You said the Bible did hold the ultimate authority.
Okay. Let me explain further. So
No,
the
hold
Bible
on. Did you or did you not say that?
I said the Bible is the authority over the
Oh,
Quran.
the ultimate authority.
I said the Bible is the authority
The
over the
ultimate
Quran.
authority.
Did I say the ultimate?
Yes, that was the question that I
Play
asked
back.
you. Sexual
Brother,
exploitation. He admitted to sexual exploitation.
So, denomination.
So you think the Bible holds the authority?
Absolutely, I do.
Holds the authority?
Bible is the authority over the Quran.
So you think the Bible holds the authority? So I was asking you, do you think the Bible holds the authority in terms of the Christian's perspective? That was my question. Does the Bible hold the authority in terms of the Christian view?
You said that I said that it holds the ultimate authority. I said holds
I
authority
misspoke. I didn't
over
say
the
ultimate.
Quran.
I didn't say ultimate, but
Well,
that was implied my question.
Let me explain further. So let's look at Surah 1094 in the Quran. So if you are in doubt, O Muhammad, about that which we have revealed to you, then ask those who have been reading the scripture.
I'm so sorry. Why are you? I'm so confused on that argument.
Could not tell you.
I'm so Why are you quoting the Quran? I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Why are you like I like you did you, he said he was a Christian, right? I mean, even like Caving in the comments noted that he said, "I'm a Christian. I read the Torah." Moving on to the next guest, because then why are you quoting the Quran? We're not talking about the Quran. What are we doing here? What's up? Do you support Trump or do you think I sucks?
I probably agree with putting the topics on right now. I was here to talk about the abortion.
Are you Christian?
Yeah, I'm Christian.
What denomination are you?
Well, I'm inquiring into Eastern Orthodoxy right now, but
Okay.
I'm not specific.
Do you think the Bible holds like the ultimate authority over Christians?
Depends on what you mean. I mean, I think the Bible is fallible, but broadly speaking, yeah, I think generally, the moral revelation of the Bible should be true
So
for
you
most
follow like
Christians.
sola scriptura?
No, I wouldn't follow sola scriptura. I think that where would you get it? But regardless, I think this verse you pointed out, Numbers, was Numbers
5:11.
chapter 5?
Yeah. 11:31. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, historically, like the interpretation of that verse, of those verses, has broadly not considered to be inducing a miscarriage. Like the verse doesn't even state that the woman in question there is pregnant. It just states that she did infidelity.
Well, it says
The miscarriage passage is not in a lot of translations. Like there's some
It is.
like
Which
the KJV. for
which
instance,
translation do you read?
The KJV doesn't mention anything about a miscarriage,
The King James version?
and there are lots of other translations that don't. That's the translation of.
King James, right?
Yeah, I can read from my copy right here. From I think it's verse 27,
James.
and
hold on, give me
when
one
he
second
had to
here.
meet. Okay.
Give me 1 second here. I'm pulling up King James version. Let's see. So the King James version talks about a curse that makes her abdomen swell.
It doesn't entail pregnancy. What do you think pregnancy is a curse? What?
No, I never said that. Hold on. Let me just read it from the beginning. Amen, blah, blah, blah. a spirit of jealousy.
I'm just saying most translations don't contain anything referencing a miscarriage. Most of them don't.
So what
And
is it
historically-
referencing? So what curse is it referencing? Like
It's
what's the curse?
I mean, generally, from what I've read into it, I'm not like someone that's deep in the hermeneutics of scripture. Like this is just my past understanding, but what I think generally the interpretation that's
Hold on,
usually
pause. It says
given
like-
is that
hold on,
it's
pause.
referring to infertility. That's generally the interpretation most people
I hate
give.
to interrupt, but it says here 28. And if the one not be defiled, but be clean, then she shall be free and shall conceive seed. Quite frankly, is that not referring to?
Yeah, because it's referencing infertility. If
So you
if
think,
the
you
if
think
the
it's referencing
if,
infertility?
yeah, that's what most scholars that look at this passage say. That if she takes this drink and she engages in infidelity beforehand, she'll become infertile. She'll be able to conceive children. But it doesn't entail that she's already pregnant and the pregnancy is ended. Like the vast majority of people, until like the 20th century, I think it was in the 1970s that this specific translation of looking at this verse as referencing abortion. I don't think
Well, yeah, it's
like, there's
referencing
any
like,
person
a
who claimed it
forced
otherwise. And
marriage, yeah.
yeah, and while I would say, since I don't even hold to sola scriptura, I would say if you look at the Christian tradition historically, at what Christians believed about abortion, like you can look at things like the Didache, at the letter of Barnabas, like the writings of Irenaeus, people like that, like the church fathers, and you can see that generally Christianity, all the way in the 1st and 2nd century, was pretty like anti-abortion.
Well,
And
I mean, I can just like give you another like easier argument. I mean, God gave us free will, right?
I don't believe in free will.
You don't think God? You don't hold to the view that God gave?
Well,
us
I mean,
free will?
I don't believe in libertarian free. I'm a compatibilist. So it depends on what you mean when you say free will. If you mean like libertarian free will, I don't believe in that. But
So
I guess you don't- yeah,
well,
like, what do you mean by
let me
free will?
ask you in a different question. Do you believe that God gave women the option to A, get an abortion, or B, not get an abortion?
I mean, the option,
Yes.
sure.
So then he's pro-choice. Legally,
How does that follow?
he gave them the option to either A, get an
Do you mean
abortion,
like
or
the
B, not.
ability to choose? The ability to choose? Yes, you have the ability to choose to unalive people, like innocent people too.
So
I don't know.
I mean, if you want to go into that argument, then that would just be the actual debate on whether or not it's murder. But I mean, God is literally pro-choice.
Wait, you think if I accept like even if I accept like libertarian free will, that God gave us libertarian free will, which I don't believe is true. You think God allowing people to have the capacity to do evil entails that he believes doing evil is right, or that he approves of the evil that they do?
That's my point. God can.
No, I
God
don't think that. What's the argument for that? How would that follow?
God can be morally pro-life, but legally pro-choice.
I don't look. First of all, morality.
Wait, hold on.
legality.
So he gave us. I know you don't hold to this view, but he in accordance with the view where the view of free will, he gave people free will to do like harm, right? I mean, people can kill other people. In accordance with that view, I mean, he obviously is against. He is against like murder.
Wait.
But he still gave
Okay.
them the option to. In accordance
Again,
with the view.
first of all, I feel the issue you're having. When you say legality, like God can be against abortion morally and for it legally. I'm not sure what that means, because at least from my view, when I talk about legality, like what the law should be, that comes from moral oughts. Like the law ought be this way, and when you see something is legal, that should be based upon what's moral. I don't think we can separate legality and morality. Like I don't think there's a separation exists in reality. Some people try and do it, but I think that's fundamentally
I can agree with you. I can agree with you.
Legality.
Laws are in place with morality, but that's not really the argument that I'm like making. I'm saying that the law is what the law is currently in terms of the overturning of Roe v. Well, not what the law is, but the overturning of Roe v. Wade or reinstating Roe v. Wade, right? So I mean, that's
So
that's
everything
what
the
I'll
laws
just
of
direct.
America restrict abortion, then it's like Christians can support abortion. Then is that what you're saying? If you're talking about legality, like let's say I live in the state, like if I live in Texas, and obviously like the laws in Texas are going to be restrictions on abortion. Does that like entail that I should be pro-life then?
If you're no, I mean you should just like morally disagree with that, and then that gets into the more moral argument. But in terms of like the legal argument, I'm just referencing it based on the Bible. Let's see there.
First of all, what's the legal argument for abortion based on the Bible? Like,
Well, no, I'm
maybe
talking
I'm
about
not-
it based on a Christian perspective.
And how does the Christian perspective entail that abortion is permissible?
I already gave you my argument. Were you not tracking?
That God, your
I gave
argument
you two
before.
separate arguments.
Okay, are you saying? Because maybe I'm misunderstanding. Are you saying that because God gives us free will, that that necessarily means that women are permitted to do abortions. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, that's going to be the first part of my argument. If you disagree with that, then
Well, I don't even believe that like God gave us libertarian free will, but sure, for the sake of argument, let me concede that.
I mean, if you don't believe
well,
that,
I
then
didn't
we're not
follow
going to
from-
have the debate. We're going to talk.
No, I said for the sake of conversation, I could concede that. I like maybe you're using free will in a different sense. I'm using. We can go on and we can concede. I'm not like fully dogmatic in my position on free will. I could be wrong about compatibilism. Maybe libertarian free will is true, but for the sake of argument, I can concede libertarian free will is true. How do I get from that to God permitting abortion?
One more time, repeat the last question. Sorry, I was reading something.
For the sake of argument, libertarian free will is true. How do I get from that to God permitting abortion?
To God permitting abortion because He allows abortions.
To the Christian, God permitted abortion. How do I get from libertarian free will?
He allows abortions to happen. He's all powerful, all knowing.
Okay,
He allows abortions to happen. So that's how He. I don't know. I don't understand the question.
All right. So would you
All
make that
knowing, all
inference?
powerful.
Would you make that inference to every single action? Every action that occurs, Christians believe is morally right.
You're gonna have to repeat that. I'm so sorry.
No, my point is if your argument is sound, if this is true, then every action that happens in the world, Christians would have to approve of. They would have to support.
Christians would
Like
have
any
That's
action.
not the
would be
argument that I'm
morally
making.
correct.
Hold on.
Okay, what argument
In
you-
accordance to the question that you just asked me, in terms of whether or not why, like, what about to the argument that the Christian God is pro-choice? It's because He allows abortions to happen. I understand how you're.
Does God allow child rapes to happen?
I mean, in accordance with God being all powerful, yes. In accordance with that.
Yes. So
God
should
allows
Christians
child
support
rape.
child rape? Should Christians support child rape?
No, Christians should not support child rape. No.
Okay, then Christians shouldn't support abortion either. Obviously, the argument is not
Give the
sound.
argument.
No, you broke the argument. You said the argument for
You
why
have to
God.
give the, hold on. You have to give the argument as to why Christians.
Want me to give it like formally? If you want, sure, I can give it. I don't really want to give a formal argument here, but do you want me to give it formally? Is that what you're asking?
Let's just. Okay, so you're.
Well, obviously, the argument you gave earlier isn't sound.
Well, hold on.
It was not valid, first of all.
We talked about the first point on the Christian God being all knowing and all powerful, and then Him allowing abortions and allowing child rape under that view of Him being all knowing and all powerful. Obviously, there's going to be good things and like horrible things that happen in this world, but in accordance with the view of that He's all knowing and all powerful, God allows both good and bad to happen. Do you agree or disagree with that?
Yes, I do agree that God allows good and bad things to happen.
So
Christian
God allows
God.
child rape.
Yes.
Why? Why does He allow child rape?
Are we arguing about theism, or are we arguing about whether the Christian God supports? If you're making an argument against theism,
When you're saying
if you're arguing for like the problem of evil, maybe like that's a separate conversation. But we're arguing about whether Christians should support abortion. And obviously, since Christians are obligated to support child rape, even though God allows child rape, Christians would be obligated to support abortion because God allows abortions to happen.
Yeah,
Like obviously,
why not?
the inference you're making here is not valid.
Yeah, why shouldn't Christians support abortion or not support? Hold on, when you're referencing, you don't have to support abortion. I know you're going to make the claim that the laws are made of morality, but I think that in accordance with you saying supporting abortion, there can be pro-choicers who are against abortion, right? Pro-choice just means women having the ability to choose whether or not to have an abortion. Legally,
Okay.
right? I mean, I can give you the argument of like, do you believe that it should be like illegal to tell a single lie?
Should it be illegal to tell a single lie? No, there are probably
Okay, so
situations.
so before you even could make the argument about it, like laws are based on morality, I just disputed that because in accordance with the Christian view, lying is wrong, but it shouldn't be illegal to tell to
It's the
tell
Christian
lies,
view.
right?
We're
So then,
Bible says
hold
all-
on. We can think that lying is wrong, right? But it shouldn't be illegal to lie.
Okay.
Just as the same time, we can think that abortion is wrong, but it shouldn't be illegal to get an abortion.
The Christian view doesn't even say that like lying in general is always wrong. Like for example, in 10 Commandments it says testifying against your neighbor falsely. Now that's wrong. It doesn't say like lying, I guess implicator is always wrong in every situation. It doesn't say that. Like there's no verse of scripture you can give that would support that. But regardless, just because this is the case that in one example of one action that is morally impermissible, that it's conceivable that the laws shouldn't like restrict that. Like I don't think we should have laws that restrict lying just in general. That means every morally impermissible action would operate in the same way. Like I think I think like murdering people is wrong morally, and I also think the law has to prevent that. In the same way, I think abortions are morally wrong, and
Okay, why are abortions
restricted
morally
legally.
wrong? Why are abortions morally wrong?
Look, again, this is not even what the argument is about. The argument is about whether Christians ought support abortions.
Buddy, I'm so sorry. I'm asking you why. I like that's like the second time I've asked you. I mean, I attempted to talk about the Christian perspective, and then I mean, you didn't even believe that God gave us free will necessarily. You said you would concede that for that argument. Yeah, what's up? Do you support Trump, or do you support ICE? Justin.
Hello.
Change the topic now. Let's see. Justin is not here. What the heck? Oh. Hold on. Let me just apply that. Accept.
We're joining.
Yeah, what's up? Do you support Trump?
Hello?
Do you support Trump?
Yes.
How old are you?
18.
When's your birth year? Holy troll, bro. What? That whisper was loud. Jesus. That was the loudest whisper I've ever heard. I'm not going to lie.
That was really
That
loud.
was a loud whisper. That was a really loud whisper. What are we doing? Also, 18, 2007. Can't do math. That would follow, right? Yeah.
Did they say they were 18?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be 07 or 08, not 6.
They said 07, but the whisper, bro.
Oh.
Let's see. We've done abortion. We didn't get a conversation on ICE, but I think we might restart since we're on an hour. I'll just change this. I'll do this.
Bro, one of Ellie's hockey team and my hockey team played each other tonight. I need to show you the clip later. It's like terrible. One of my players got really hurt.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Chat, what argument should we run? That's not Trump.
I don't know. Santa Claus is real.
Hold on, what the fuck? Why can't I? Okay, this is making me upset. Yeah, we'll just run that one. That's like pretty vague.
So why do you support Trump?
Yeah, it's pretty vague. It includes abortion. It includes, I mean, like the LGBTQ community. It includes economics, foreign policy, ICE. I guess that's pretty vague. I'm gonna
My head,
Okay.
but it depends
I have a question.
what time frame.
No,
Okay.
I said last year. I said 2025. That's the first time
Okay.
that you actually don't give a damn. All right. The next
No,
question
because
for
I
you is,
because
who
I know
is
that
the
you're going to
majority
try
of
and
our
look at these
government?
statistics,
Who
but
is
It's my bad, YouTube, quite frankly. First. Actually, Brinks was first, I can't lie.
Frankly. Bro, I don't know. I'm so tired.
If you support Trump, jump in the guest box. Love to talk to you. Love to have a debate with you. Love to have a conversation with you tonight. If you're over there on YouTube, make sure to hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. I hate ICE. W, sir. W, sir. Haywire the First, www. What's up? I don't know what your name says. And then Spider-Man, what's up? What's up? What's up? How many people have we got on YouTube?
Where are your LEDs?
58 people. Oh yeah, my LEDs are not on. That's quite unfortunate.
Yeah.
There we go. Were they not on this entire time?
No, I don't think so. I just noticed it though.
There we go. If you support the current president of the United States of America, make sure to hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. I think videos being posted in the next 2 minutes on this account. Maybe, I think so. I'm like 90% sure. So make sure to like that. Go like the video, hit that share. Moving on to the first guest of this restart. Let's see. If you're over there on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. Hit that
Hey,
subscribe.
what's
What's up?
up?
Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I support Trump.
Why is that?
Well, I support Trump for more social policies. I had a choice between two people, and I lean conservatively on social issues. So I was more confident in Trump's ability when it came to legislation, socially, left-leaning legislation that Kamala Harris was obviously for, and I was obviously opposed to that. You could argue immigration a little bit as well, but that was my main contempt.
What kind of social policies?
Obviously, AB, transgenderism, LGBTQ.
Yeah, which one do you want to talk about?
We can talk about any of them if you want. I don't really care.
Why are you against like trans people?
Oh, because they're mentally ill.
No, what's your source? Give me one institution. that's
Well, their
saying
mental
that.
health rates are extremely low, and I can also provide with you an example of why it wouldn't make sense for their mental health rates to be low.
Hold on. Provide a source that being like
That their mental health rates are
transgender-
low.
Provide a source that being transgender is a mental illness.
Well, obviously, none of the scientists say it because of the agenda, but I can provide you a reason why I think
So
they
then
are
you have
and
no
why it's
evidence
logical.
that transgender is like a.
So what scientists say is
Hold on,
true.
pause.
What scientists say is always true.
You have no evidence at all.
Wait, can I ask you a question? If scientists say something, does that make it true?
If there's evidence to present it.
And
yes.
what evidence suggested to you when the evidence shows that they have extremely low mental health rates even after transition surgery? What evidence has been presented to you that would make you think they're not
mental
mentally
health
ill?
rates? When you're talking about mental health rates, what are you referencing there?
Well, they have double chance of murdering themselves, offing themselves.
No, that's because of people
Are
like you, and that's fine. People like you, yeah.
Oh, yeah, people like me. Well, I don't even talk to them, so how would it be people like me?
Because you come on TikTok Live and you,
Well, I
you
would
debate
argue,
on whether or not they should have human rights.
well, to be fair, I would argue that me actually. What do you mean a human right? I think they should have rights, of course.
Yeah. So
I don't think you should have a right to do things that are objectively bad.
okay. So what's the argument that being trans is meant?
My argument is they're
wrong?
almost double. Well, I'll try to explain it to you. My argument is that their suicide rates are doubled than your average Joe, and I would argue that even after the surgery, even after the transition, the fact that their mental health rates are still very poor, I wouldn't suggest that we should essentially want more suicide in our country.
In accordance with your study,
can I
why
just
are they-
finish?
Hold on.
Wait, can I just finish what I was
just
saying?
One point at a time. One point at a time. In accordance with
It's
the
a
study.
part of this one. It's a part of this one point.
Go for
Let me
it.
finish. Instead of, like you said earlier, about us as just treating them better, is what you said. I don't think we don't use that with anything else, any other sort of bullying, and their mental health rates aren't as low as these people. So I think trying to make society adjust to what these people feel like isn't logical. We should instead just realize that it's objectively bad, probably.
My question was, why is it objectively bad? And you literally didn't answer
It's
my
objectively
question.
bad
First off.
because it's not beneficial or neutral.
It's not
That's how I
beneficial
determine if
or
something's
neutral.
objectively bad.
So, okay,
Yeah,
so no,
meaning
but
that
what's
if it's not a net you're not letting me explain what it means.
you were done?
The way I
done
determine,
talking, buddy. What are we doing?
unless you disagree with this, the way I determine if something, obviously, we're not going to include religion because I'm sure you'll just get enraged by that. But if you wanted to argue from just a normal stance, right, I would say that if it's not a net beneficial for the individual or society, or a neutral beneficial for this person or the society, then it's not beneficial or good at all. It's probably bad. So there's nothing good about it.
What kind of
and it's
argument
not
is
neutral
that?
either.
What?
Well, instead of saying what kind of argument it is, you should probably just address it.
Yeah, I'll address what you're saying. It's
You're not addressing. You're just saying what kind of argument.
Well, Jesus
is it?
fuck! I just started talking. Weren't you just bitching about
What's
me
your
interrupting you?
Well, I was.
Were you
wasn't
not
finished with
bitching
my
about
point.
me interrupting you? Come on now.
Yeah, I wasn't finished with my point.
I was. I
And you
barely got
interrupted.
started with my
And
point.
now I'm
either.
done, and now you can speak.
Yeah, but no, well, you were done, and then I started speaking, and then you interrupted me.
No, you just didn't address it. And you said it. So how does that make sense instead of addressing the point? When
I was going to say,
clearly
how
labeled
does
what
that
the
make
point was?
sense, and then tell you how that does not make sense,
Okay,
but you
let me see
interrupted
how
me.
that doesn't make sense.
What was the point of that interruption?
How does it not make sense?
Yeah. What you basically just said is that it's not good or it's not neutral, therefore it's not good or not neutral. That is basically what you just said.
Therefore, it's bad.
But okay.
Is that not? Do you not understand that if something isn't neutral or positive, what is it?
Yes.
It's bad, right?
If something is not neutral or positive, so what's your argument that it's not quote unquote neutral or positive? What's the argument?
Well, let's start with positive. Well, I need to understand your stance first. What do you view it as, neutral or positive?
What are we referencing here though? Like what is it?
Well, we could argue for society. We could argue for their individual selves. We could argue for other people's lives. Are they neutral or are they positive?
No, I would argue positive.
So how so?
Okay, that holy burden shift. I mean, I asked you how it's not positive or.
Wait a minute, I didn't
neutral?
hear what you said the first part. How is it positive?
I asked you how it isn't positive or neutral.
Wait, what?
Was that not the question that I asked you?
Yeah, but so if you're saying it's positive, you're gonna have to demonstrate why you think it's positive. I demonstrated why I think it's negative, and I said
You said
no,
it's
it
negative
doesn't-
because it's not neutral or positive.
Yeah, and the reason
you
I
said
said
it's
it was
bad
negative
because it's
and-
bad.
Well, no, I didn't. I said the reason that it's negative, if you want me to even clarify more, is because they have extremely low mental health rates. They're not. They have no chance of having birth realistically, so they're not going to have any kids, which is obviously good for society. And they're doing a degenerate behavior that is bad for your mental health. So I don't know why that would be a good thing.
How is being trans isn't a choice? And so, anyways,
It doesn't matter if it's a choice; it's
also,
still a bad thing.
No,
And
actually.
your
So,
friend here, Jeremiah, hasn't demonstrated why it's a good thing. Except let's all let people do what they want, have fun because they feel that way.
Well, I never made that argument.
Okay, what's your? I'm trying to understand your argument.
Anyways.
Why is it positive?
Did I not ask you whether or not it's what's your reason?
I
as to why
said it's
not positive or
negative, so I'm
neutral?
asking you why is it positive? I demonstrated why it's negative.
because because social and medical transitioning is positive for the individual. It reduces
Positive
their,
for the individual. How?
It actually improves their mental health.
And well, first of all, yeah, it improves it after, but you can see that it's still worse than your average Joe, right?
Do you know why
They're not
that
back
is?
to normal.
Do you know
I'm
why that
assuming
is?
you're going to say because of society and the bigotry
Yes,
and hatred.
it's
Yeah,
'cause
okay,
it's-
sure.
it's 'cause of
So I have a
society.
question. I don't know your name. I'm just going to ask you a question, okay? It's
My name is
Please
right
be
there.
honest. I can only see the first two letters. Sorry. You don't have to be rude about it. So I have a question, right? Would you say that it would be hurtful to one of these people if someone came up to, let's say it was a trans woman and someone came up to them and said, "You're a man"? Would that be hurtful to them?
Yes.
Okay, why would it hurt them if it wasn't true?
Just because someone says something that's not true doesn't mean it's not hurtful. Like if
Why would it
someone
hurt you if
isn't,
you
let
knew
me
it
let
wasn't
me
true?
explain. Let me explain.
Okay, sure.
Was not done talking. So if someone walks up to someone who is not overweight and says you're fat, that can still create body dysmorphia.
Well,
Correct?
if no, it can't, because if you know that you're not fat, it wouldn't create anything unless you actually have a problem. If you have a problem, right? Body dysmorphia, do you concede that that's a problem?
Body dysmorphia.
It's not a
sure.
good thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would argue that gender dysphoria isn't a good thing either.
Yes, but gender
Meaning that
dysphoria isn't like
isn't
doesn't
what?
have to doesn't not every trans person has gender dysphoria.
Sure. I'm if you want to say that, sure. I don't know why you'd want to do all that if you didn't feel like you were in the wrong body.
Gender
It doesn't
dysphoria and
make sense.
like gender dysphoria would not be like
Okay.
not feeling necessarily like
But I guess I was just wondering.
not
right?
feeling manly or like feminine enough
Well, I'm saying
necessarily
that
or like
if someone-
like in accordance with your identity.
Well, you brought up
Like
body
your personal
dysmorphia.
thoughts on.
Okay, you brought up body dysmorphia. I think that was a good example, right? You acknowledge that it's a bad thing that people have to go through. Obviously, they can't help it, right? But it's a bad thing. So if you went up to a skinny person with body dysmorphia and you said, "Hey, you're fat," you could probably say that there's something wrong there, right? Like that could affect them.
even someone without body dysmorphia hearing
No, it
other
literally
people
couldn't affect them. It couldn't affect
hearing
them because
other
you know it's
people
not
call them
true.
fat could get, like develop body dysmorphia. You do know this, correct?
It could create body dysmorphia if everybody told them they were fat.
Not if everybody, but even if just a few people can.
If a few
create
people
body
came up
dysmorphia.
to you and said that you were fat, you would.
That's how
you would-
body dysmorphia is a lot of the time.
Well, some people
it
have
comes
body
into
dysmorphia
existence
without
is
anybody
because
saying anything.
I said that's how body dysmorphia like comes into existence.
No, I'm saying, but
Sometimes
some
I
people have it
clarified
without anyone
sometimes.
saying anything.
I clarified sometimes.
I know, but my question is, and obviously there's people that have body dysmorphia. Even if your argument is that some of these people, if you say it to them, they'll think they are said thing, which is not true. But even if I concede that, why would every single trans person get angry? Like, it's a known thing that if you misgender these people, they get really angry and really upset.
I don't get angry.
Well, I'm not talking about your own anecdotal experience. I'm talking about a group of anecdotal experiences, right? They all get very angry.
So
Just
all
like people
is-
with
is
and without
what?
body dysmorphia will have different reactions.
If someone came up to a skinny person, me example, if someone came up to me and said, "Hey, you're fat," why would I get mad?
People
They
with
said-
body dysmorphia, that's what I said. So yeah,
I don't
people
think
who
it's
have
I don't
greater
think it's anywhere
aspects.
near though. I don't think people that don't have body dysmorphia, they don't get mad. Most of them don't get mad over it. Every single trans person gets mad over it.
You just said every
Every-
single trans person. I don't get mad about it.
Majority of trans people, maybe not you, but I like this. Like I said, if I misgendered you right now, which I know what your sex was at birth, I know what it was, and if I misgendered you right now, you would get angry. I'm assuming, right?
No.
Because
Jeremiah and
I knew
Reagan.
you were born a
He
woman.
literally, people
Jeremiah's
do it all
and
the time. He literally
yeah.
does not give a fuck.
Yeah.
I knew you were a female when I first first
Okay.
heard your voice.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying, and I'm glad you're not upset over it. I'm simply saying that a lot of people, you would concede that a lot of people do get upset at it, and I don't.
And they have
understand
every
that.
right to be because by disrespect.
why, if
Well,
it's
not
not
necessarily. Well, for example, if someone's not passing and you misgender them and then they correct you and then you correct the pronouns, then like if you do that, most people won't get mad if you don't know right away and then they tell you their pronouns and then you respect those. They will not get mad at you. Majority of trans people. If you continue to misgender them after already knowing their pronouns, yes, they're going to get mad because you're disrespecting them and their identity. That's like
And what they think.
their identity.
Well, here's my problem.
It's a part of their identity. You're disrespecting their identity.
I might have a more reasonable take on this, right? Although I don't think it's good at all. If people want to do that, sure. I mean, we all have the right to do a majority of what we want, right? I don't think other people within society have to operate in your worldview. Like, for instance, if I thought that I was like the best looking dude in the world and people didn't address me as the best looking dude in the world, it wouldn't be logical for me to get angry over that. Not everyone has to operate in your worldview. So if I think that I know you're a woman. The first time I heard your voice, I know you're a woman. I can't address you as he. It just won't come out because I knew you were a woman. Like, it wouldn't come out.
Then that's an internal issue that you need to deconstruct.
It's my
because
issue, not
nobody
your
is.
issue.
Hold on, I'm still talking. You were complaining about interruptions, and then you continue to interrupt
sorry.
me. Okay. So, for example, majority of trans people do not care what your actual beliefs are as long as you respect them as a human being and you don't misgender them to your face. For example, if I'm not expecting people to like completely agree with my point of view, my view on gender norms, things like that. I don't expect that. I just expect them to treat me with basic human decency like they would any other person and respect their identity.
But you don't see a problem with people having to shape their worldview or the words they choose to use because of someone's internal opinion.
That's like no, I don't have an issue with that because
Okay,
then
if I
then
referred to
hold
you and I
on
said
by,
she,
by
you couldn't
your
get
by
mad at that.
your worldview, you think that it's like weird for people to saying the N-word is bad or saying the R slur is bad or saying the F slur is bad and calling people that is bad because because you're trying to get people to choose what words they're using.
What do you mean weird?
Isn't that the word you used? I'm forgetting what word you used.
Well, anyway, I said it was bad. I mean, I don't know what you mean by weird. Is that the word?
Okay, then it would be I guess then you would think it's bad to say people shouldn't say slurs they can't reclaim.
So when it comes to slurs, right? I'm someone that I never said it was okay, or I don't use slurs. I don't think it's okay. I don't think it's cool. But I still think dictating what people use and the words they use, it limits all free speech. So I'm for all free speech, even if someone, like if a business, if you work somewhere and they fire you, that's your problem, right? But I don't think we should limit anyone's free speech. I don't think that's healthy at all.
Well, I'm not saying to make
usually
it the
society
law.
Society dictates what we can say and what we can't say. Like
yeah, that's
there,
why
there
I'm
was
saying.
a point where I'm sure you understand. There was a point where a lot of people weren't even questioning Israel. You couldn't do it. It was kind of like unheard of at a point. Right now, everyone does it. So I think you should always be able to say whatever you want.
Okay, but am I arguing for the law to be changed?
Well, freedom of speech.
Am I asking for the law to be changed where it's like it's illegal to misgender someone?
No, and that's
Exactly.
fine. But socially speaking, I think it would be healthy not to freak out, not specifically.
Then you shouldn't freak out
when
if
I
a white person says the N-word to you. If a
wouldn't freak out. I
non-mentally
wouldn't
disabled
care.
person says the R slur, then you shouldn't be able to say that that's bad to them.
I wouldn't care. I literally would just say, "Oh, okay," and move on with my life because I wouldn't let words affect my day-to-day life. So, and my point is that
You wouldn't condemn someone using you wouldn't condemn a white person using the N-word to your face.
Why? What would I condemn them for using a word?
Using the N-word when they're white because
So-
they can't reclaim it.
So
And
first of all, I'm not a word police. If I were to say that I could tell people what words to not use, I could also say that I don't think you should question Israel. It's no different than doing any of that. You can't dictate what anyone says, or you dictate everything. Like, it's no different. I'm not for people using words. I don't think they're beneficial at all. But if I limit that, I would have to limit all these other things, which I don't want to limit. I think we should all say what we want. And I also think I'm assuming you're for less slurs like I am as well. I think limiting slurs causes more slurs because it causes people like me, young men, to just want to say slurs even more when I don't think if we didn't limit it, I think no one would really say that.
Why do you want to say
People
slurs?
like us are.
I didn't say
reading
me specifically. I
people's
said a lot of young men say slurs. Majority of
You said
the young
like
men say
me.
slurs.
You said a lot of young men.
A young
like
man
me.
like me. I'm a young man, so that's what I was referring to.
No, you said young men.
I don't.
like
I
me.
just told you I don't use slurs.
But you kind of said
Okay,
you want.
Just about.
So what has Donald Trump done in accordance with?
Well, I'm trying to finish my conversation with
Go
Next.
for it.
her. I'm
Right
trying to
there.
finish it. So, here's my thing, right? I don't want to limit any freedom of speech, right? I'm sure you could agree with that. You don't want to limit anything people say.
Legally, not really, no. Like,
Okay.
well, for example, like, you can't really scream bomb in an airport.
Yeah,
Would
that's
you
true.
say would you say that's limiting
That'd be more of
free
a
speech?
threat, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying,
Well,
like,
yeah,
not
threats,
really.
yeah, it's different,
That's why
but,
I
like,
said not
it's not-
really.
Well, I would
I just
say- I
wanted
would
to
say this.
clarify.
Well, to be clear, you understand that society dictates what we should and what we shouldn't say, right?
Yes, that's why
Okay,
you should
so-
condemn people, which
Okay,
will give social.
And I mean that what if there was a word?
repercussions.
What if there was a word that really didn't mean anything bad, but society came to the conclusion that we shouldn't use it because they came to that conclusion? You would say, well, that's not cool. I like using that word. You wouldn't just be like, oh, I'm okay with it, right? Like, society can come to a whole host of conclusions. Doesn't mean we should follow that rhetoric.
If something is harmful, should you continue doing that?
Harmful according to who? Majority of people?
For example, let's say, I'm trying to think of a good example that I can word this into. Trying to come up with examples off the top of my head is always hard for me. Okay, let's say one person finds it offensive that okay, you're in a relationship with someone, okay, and you went out somewhere without telling your partner and you didn't know that would make them upset. It makes them upset. You would apologize for that, right?
If you went out and you didn't think you would make them upset?
Yeah, even if your intentions weren't to make them upset, you would apologize to them, right?
My partner, probably, yeah. I'd say, I'm sorry, that wasn't my intention.
Right. But another person you date doesn't have that issue, right? Would it still?
What do you mean?
Would it still be okay for you to continue doing that in the relationship with a person where they do get upset over that? and not change your ways?
I think a lot of things involving obviously relationships are different than you just me walking across you in TikTok live and having a conversation with you. But assuming I'm in a relationship, I think a lot of it comes down to what you both feel. Like I would never even feel okay doing that myself, so I would never do it to begin with, regardless if my partner was okay with it or not. But if someone was okay with it and both partners are okay, that's their problem. I can't dictate what they do.
But what I'm saying is, no matter what your intentions are, if you harm an individual, like if you do something that's harmful, even if it's unintentional, you should apologize for it and not do that. For example, I have certain friends who don't like it when people use curse words around them. I use curse words around most of my friends, but I limit my curse words and I don't use curse words when I'm around those friends.
Yeah, well, I understand that, but
it's just respect. It's respect.
I think you're kind of conflating. A lot of times we conflate, quote unquote, misgendering people with just using everyday terminology like a cuss word or something like that. Like it's literally like objective.
Yeah, even pronouns are everyday words.
Even what'd you say? Pronouns?
Pronouns are everyday.
Yeah,
words.
Pronouns are everyday words. But if they were everyday words, people wouldn't get offended by them the way you're. I think it is an everyday word. I think when people get mad over pronouns, it's kind of ridiculous because we do use pronouns. I don't think we should have to say what our pronouns are when we're talking, because usually people can naturally make the indication that what we are. So as far as the pronouns go, though, you say it's just pronouns. It's really not, because when it comes down to it, a lot of people get very angry over it. And I think if me and you can both agree that we're for less slurs, like I'm for less slurs, I think us limiting it will create more slurs.
So you're for less slurs, but you don't want to limit it?
I'm not saying.
If you would understand what I'm saying, I think limiting it causes more slurs.
Socially,
it is socially condemned. It is socially condemned.
Not always. The R slur.
If not, we would have President of the United States saying the T word.
The President of the United States said the R slur.
Yes.
Well, that's not as bad. Well, that's not. Society doesn't look down upon that word as much as the T word.
Yes, exactly.
That's my whole point.
Society dictates
it's normalized. So if we condemn it, it will be less normalized.
But
and the more you condemn something, the less confident someone is using that.
But you just agreed with me that society dictates what words we can say and what we can't say, which is a problem.
Not really.
You just said it earlier.
No, I'd never agreed to that.
Because back in the day, society came to the conclusion that saying the N-word was cool. Now they say it's bad. Like, I don't want society to dictate anything, because they've come to bad conclusions and they've come to good conclusions, but a lot of them have been bad, and I don't want society to determine any of our language, really, when it comes to slurs or anything like that. Because there's always going to be a group that's offended. There's always going to be a group that's offended.
Okay, where do you get the fact that, like, I don't understand. You're just, it's not making sense that you're saying, yeah, like, slurs are bad. I don't want slurs, but I don't agree with society also thinking slurs are bad.
Right.
We both
society condemning slurs makes absolutely no difference on if you're
think it's working?
If you're legally allowed to say, like, you can still say slurs. I'm just saying you should not say slurs.
We're not talking legally. That'd be extreme. We're talking about just basic everyday conversation, right? Is it working, you guys condemning slurs? Because slurs are condemned in society, and people say them a ton. Is it working?
You keep saying
that's literally just like you're saying. Oh, but like everyday conversation. You change the way you talk around different people. I talk differently around my parents than I do around my friends than I do whenever I go to church.
Slurs are more condemned than they have ever been in history, and they are said more than they have ever been in history. Everyone says it. I don't understand. It's not working.
It's not socially condemned enough. That's what I'm saying.
It's more socially condemned than it's ever been.
Currently, right now, I would argue.
No.
But when you have the president
during 2020, 2021, yeah.
I'm talking about when I say this time period, I'll say the last 10 to 15 years. It's more condemned than it's ever been. And it's been especially the last 20, 30.
I think that since Donald Trump came into office, it's actually been less condemned. I mean, we see more. He uses slurs, and not only that, we can reference like other things like neo-Nazis. I mean, they're more bold about coming out and just like admitting that they're like neo-Nazis. Like we're seeing it less condemned. What?
I will say that slurs have recently come about more, right? But it wasn't less socially condemned. It's just there's people that have come out and say, you know what, I'm not going to let anybody tell me what to say, and they're just going to say it. There's tons of figures that do this politically, not just the president. The president doesn't really do it. There's content creators, especially conservative content creators, that just say, you know what, I don't care. I'm just going to say whatever I want.
Yeah, and then they're
And
not
they're tired of their speech being limited. It doesn't make sense. They will say it less if the reason they love saying it so much is because people like you guys get angry and say you shouldn't say it. They'll just, like, I don't think it would be said that much if all of us just said it's just a word, let's not get offended by it.
But it's not just a word. It's a word that perpetuates harm.
How?
That's literally like telling a child, like, oh, it's okay, like, oh, it's whatever. You can like misbehave just because if you say that, like, if you punish them or like put them in timeout for misbehaving, that they're gonna want to do it more. So you just let them do whatever they want.
We're not children.
Okay,
Children is a whole different category. We're not children.
How old are you?
She's comparing parenting
No,
to these 18-year-olds that say slur words. It's a correlation, but it's a poor correlation.
Is that all you took from that?
Wait, hold
That I
on.
said children? Is that all you got from that?
You said, well, who is in charge of children? Who usually parents the children? The parent usually, right?
You're not understanding the correlation. The correlation is that you're saying that like
Condemning
putting
an action will make them want to do it more. That's what you're saying. You're saying condemning an action will make them want to do it.
So what type of behaviors would you be condemning within a child?
Would you say that 18-year-olds that say slurs are majority men?
Probably, yeah, but I have a question.
Okay, let me finish my point.
Well, I wanted the hypothetical. I'll address your other point. I'm just curious about the hypothetical. I don't know if you made it or your friend made it.
I didn't make it, so there's.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, so
it didn't make 18-year-old. A majority of the people saying slurs are 18-year-old men. You said it's not comparable to children. Children, you say it wouldn't be comparable because their brains aren't fully developed. 18-year-old men their brains aren't fully developed.
It's true that their brains aren't fully developed. I made the argument that the behaviors would be different. Right? Slurs and these behaviors that we're telling our kids not to do would be different.
Not like really, because using a slur is a behavior.
It's a behavior, but it's also limiting your freedom of speech. I don't think, like, if my kid was 13 years old, obviously I would say, hey, don't say certain words or whatever. But it wouldn't be my top priority. I would be like, well, is he getting good grades? He's not beating up anyone at school. He's not bullying anybody. That would be more of a priority than that.
Using slurs is a form of bullying, but
not saying, yeah, but it's not too extreme. Just coming up to people and beating the frick out of them, is it?
What?
It's not the same as going up to someone and just beating them up, right?
Yeah, bullying doesn't have to be physical.
No, is it the same?
No one said it was.
I'm not for using slurs to offend people. I'm also, I don't think it's offensive to say the truth. And the truth to a lot of people is that I think these transgender people are mentally ill. And the reason I make that argument is because
mentally ill?
I care about them. And instead of lying to them, I actually want to tell them the truth.
How are they mentally ill?
Well, I brought up that other example, right? When we talk about the people that you go up to them and you say they're fat, right? Usually the people that get offended have a problem. You acknowledge that, you conceded that. So why would it differ from someone that has a problem when it comes to transgenderism? Like, why would it differ? I don't know why it differ.
Would you get offended if someone used they, them pronouns or she, her pronouns on you?
Well, didn't you just assume my pronouns because you're assuming I'm he, him?
Are you he, him?
Yes, I am, but I'm saying that you see how people can assume things naturally.
Okay, I never said you can't assume. Like I said earlier, I said if you misgender someone and they correct you and you change that, they're most likely not going to get mad.
But so do you want me to call you he, him for the rest? When I refer to you, do you want me to call you he?
Yes.
Okay, I will, just because I'm trying to be nice, but I'm being honest. It's just a lot. Like I'm forcing my brain to do an action that it doesn't want to do.
Yeah, you should exercise your brain. It's actually good for you.
Oh, I should switch my brain to think like you, huh?
No, I'm just saying you should exercise your brain. You said your brain is working. I said you should exercise your brain.
I didn't say my brain was working. I said my brain just naturally doesn't want to say that. So what were you saying?
Fuck, what were we talking about? I just forgot.
We're talking about the fat people.
Oh yeah. Not all people though. So would you get offended if someone used they them pronouns or she her pronouns on you?
Nope.
Okay.
Wouldn't care. And it applies in a whole nother host of scenarios as well. Like if you told an NBA player that he sucks at basketball, he would not care. They do not care if it's not true most of the time unless they have a problem. That's what I'm trying to demonstrate. And all of these other aspects, it's true. I don't know why it would differ based off gender or based off of what you feel inside. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Like if someone told me I'm not 6'2", I would say, yeah, I'm not 6'2". I bring this example up all the time.
Okay. You can get offended at things even if you don't have a problem.
So I'm 5'9",
I get offended.
right?
I get offended when people make grape jokes. Does that? Oh, the fuck? Hello, where did he go?
No idea.
I was about to bring up. I get offended when people make grape jokes. Does that mean something's wrong with me?
Conversation was insufferable.
And then also, if you think it's a mental issue, where in the DSM-5 does it say that?
I already said that. He said there's no evidence to present that.
Exactly. What psychiatrist or therapist will tell you that it's a mental illness to be trans? None. Oh, can I let Ellie up?
I'm actually gonna hit a restart. Ellie,
Okay.
come back in like 10 seconds. Everyone here, come back in like 10 seconds. I'll be back.
Frisking, I'll see that it's the same.
Within a couple of percentage points of each other. Yeah. But can you explain
So
that?
how much percentage points? Because I mean, she was.
What's up?
How's it going?
Bro, I was trying to type first and my autocorrect kept glitching out on me and changing it, and I had to try it like 3 times.
I got a tattoo today.
Oh my god, a period. Bro, that guy was like, oh, people get offended when you use the wrong pronouns. I was like, I don't. Dude, everyone on this live can attest for the fact that I don't.
Where's Reagan?
I don't know. She dropped randomly last conversation.
What's up, Bunny? So you conceded. You called for the unalivement of the President of the United States. What are your thoughts?
Bro, are you gonna kick me again because I destroyed you, or no?
You didn't destroy me. Why'd you call for the unalivement of the President of the United States of
So,
America?
can you talk about my points or no?
Yeah, you said that if
Okay,
Donald
so
Trump
let's
did
let's
this,
talk about.
hold on. You
I
said
said
hold
I'm
on. You said if
I said
Donald
I'm
Trump did
pro-life.
this. Hold on. You said if
I
Donald
said I'm
Trump did.
pro-life. I said I'm pro-life. So let's talk about being pro-life.
No, we're gonna talk about this point real quick first.
Why can't you defend your pro-choice
We
stance?
absolutely can, but we're gonna talk about this because
Okay, so let's talk about it.
Cool.
Let's talk about it,
You said if Donald Trump had raped someone or did something horrible,
bro.
he should be unalived.
Why are you deflecting? Why are you
Not
running?
deflecting, that's the first point we talked
Okay,
about.
so actually, the first point I'm talking about right now is
The first point
being
we talked
pro-life.
about previous was why do you support Trump? That's the first point on there. That was pro-choice.
So actually, I'm pro-life and Christian first. So let's talk about
But
being
you support
pro-life.
Trump, right? And you made the claim that if Donald Trump had raped someone, he should be unalived.
Why can't you defend your pro-choice stance? This is sad. Are you a troll?
I can't defend my pro-choice stance.
He can
let's talk
defend it,
about
but
it.
Jeremiah doesn't debate men on abortion.
Well, to be fair, I did have an
let's talk
argument.
about it.
Well, to be fair, I did have an argument because I wanted to debate mainly Christians.
That girl just told you that you cannot debate men because you're so weak.
No, he said he. I said he doesn't.
Wow. She told you cannot you cannot debate it.
Hold on. Pause.
So did she tell you what to do?
Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
You shut the fuck up. This is my live now.
Yeah, you're gonna get muted. So what Max was referencing there is I typically don't debate another man on abortion because that's just like irrelevant, right? I typically don't. Now earlier I can agree that you did come on this live stream and it had an argument on Christianity. That's mainly because I wanted to disprove the Christian worldview as to like why Christians should be pro-life and not pro-choice. But typically I don't debate men on abortion. Okay, no, but I want to talk about the first point you made last conversation.
She
before
told
the
you
restart.
can't. No, I'm
No,
talking
I
about.
definitely can. I just choose not to. Typically,
I never
So let's
said
talk-
he. I never told him
Yeah,
that.
let's
He
talk
came
about-
to that
let's-
conclusion on his own. By the way,
Let's talk about the first conversation about why you think Donald Trump should be unalive.
You can't defend anything you're saying. You were told you can't talk about it. That's sad, bro.
I myself say I can't debate abortion. Or I don't. I choose not to debate abortion.
Oh wow! Then why'd you bring it up?
Yeah, because I wanted to debate a Christian as to why they're pro-life instead of pro-choice, and I absolutely destroyed the first one.
Cool.
The first Christian.
Okay, so let's talk about being pro-life versus pro-choice. Let's do it.
The reason why I don't want to debate you is because you were the one that was citing
Because
the
you
Quran.
can't-
Wait, hold on. You were the
you
one that was
can't
citing the
debate-
Quran, right?
You can't debate
You were the one citing the
anything.
Quran, right?
I was the one saying that the Bible was the authority.
But you cited the
over
Quran. That's why I
Quran.
kicked you, right? Well, once it moves past the religious perspective, because what I'm really actually debating, what the prompt was about, was really the religious perspective, not
No,
really
you
as to,
kept
not
moving
really
the
as to like
goalposts.
pro-life and
I
pro-choice.
owned
But
you.
the reason why I kicked you is because you were trying to move away from that religious perspective when you said you read the. You
Not at
quoted the
all.
Quran
I
when
said
you
the
said you were a
Bible is
Christian.
the authority over the Quran.
So do you think that the Bible holds ultimate authority?
I said the Bible is the authority over the Quran.
Under the Christian worldview, does the Bible hold ultimate authority?
Over the Quran? Yeah.
No, or in general, like in general. We're not referencing the
Over
Quran.
the Quran? Absolutely it does.
No, we're not referencing the Quran.
Why can't you? So you want to ask me several questions.
Does the Bible hold ultimate authority
What's
in
your
your life?
reasoning for being pro-choice?
Does your Bible have ultimate? I'm not telling you why I'm.
Why
pro-
can't
Well, the
you
reason
answer a
you're misinterpreting the
question?
claim. I said Christians should be pro-choice. Okay, I'm not going to tell you why I am
Liberals
pro-choice.
can't
I'm going
answer
to tell
one
you.
question.
I'm going to tell you why Christians should be pro-choice because the Bible talks about God being pro-choice and speaking
In the New
about
Testament?
God is pro-choice.
Show me in the New Testament where
Old
that
Testament.
happens. Okay, so unless you don't understand the Bible, we're under a new covenant because Jesus said.
So you don't follow
"I'm
the
not
Old
come
Testament?
Jesus said, "I did not come to destroy the old law, but to fulfill it." So Jesus was the fulfillment of the old law in the Torah. So let me ask you this: if you want to follow one law,
I'm so confused.
Bro.
Why are you?
so if you want to follow one law
No, bro,
in the
I'm-
Torah, do you follow
Why-
all 613 laws?
In terms of what?
Well, you're bringing up the Torah, so if you want to bring up the Torah, let's talk about all 613
I'm bringing up
laws.
the Christian Bible.
But so, do you not understand what happened when
Are you
Jesus
making the claim that
came
the Old
down
Testament is
as
the Torah?
God? Do you not know that? Wait, do I have to explain to you? So do I have to? Okay, do I need? Okay, so
Maybe I was
let me
like,
explain
hold
real
on,
quick.
pause. I don't know.
So
if
the
I trust
first several,
Go
so
for
the
it.
first several chapters in the Old Testament are the Torah. The whole entire Old Testament is not the Torah, but the what Genesis,
I don't understand
Exodus.
your argument. Then what the fuck's the point of that argument?
Well, you talk about the Torah. You talk about the Old Testament.
But you just said the entirety of the New
laws, right?
Testament isn't the Torah.
No. I talked about the laws. So you're talking about the laws in Leviticus, correct?
This is point, bro. You can't.
So if you want to
The
follow
laws.
one law,
I mean, does this? We can reference. I guess,
you don't
Go for
brother.
it.
You can't have a logical conversation whatsoever.
So, do you think that the Old Testament is irrelevant in the sense of the laws?
Absolutely, we're under a new covenant through Jesus.
So you don't think that being part of the LGBTQ plus community is wrong because that's talked about in the Old Testament?
So actually, Jesus said a man and woman will be joined together. Oh, you really don't know this? Okay, let me pull it up real quick.
Yeah, do that for sure.
Did he ever say explicitly that being part of the LGBTQ plus is wrong?
Did he ever say it's good?
Did he ever say it's
This is why I
bad?
kicked you, bro. I just want to debate. I just want to debate on the first claim you made, bro.
So you follow the law of the law of silence, right? If they don't say something, it's a fact, right?
I'm just saying if it's not necessarily stated that it's bad, you can't assume that it's bad.
Well, can I give you what Jesus said? Okay, Matthew 19.
You can claim certain things are good or bad if they are stated explicitly in the Bible.
I'm not claiming. So y'all follow the law of silence. Got it. So Matthew.
What version?
So this one is the New King James Version.
King James Version. Cool.
So Matthew 19 verse 4. Having you read, he replied that at the beginning the Creator made them male and female, and said, for this reason a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. So that no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, let no one separate. He said, what did Jesus say again? For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife. Can you show me where Jesus says a man will leave his mother and father and be joined to a man? Or another verse that says a woman will leave her mother and father and be joined to a woman? Jesus
Again, where does it say it's bad?
Oh, you really want
You
to go
can't
there,
assume
or?
that something is bad without giving me evidence that it's bad.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. You really want to go there?
Mm-hmm.
Because when it comes to going through this stuff, I'm not going to give you an Old Testament verse because a lot of people are going to quote Leviticus. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, because it's part of the Old Testament.
I'm going to give you what our new covenant is. So let me give you that right now.
If you're over on TikTok, double tap that phone, just give me the follow button up top left corner. If you're over on there on YouTube, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. Check out my link to my bio, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube. All of the above are in the link to my bio over here on TikTok and on YouTube. How's ChatGPT?
I don't do ChatGPT because I mean that. So I have a big issue with AI overview and stuff because if a couple people post it on Google, it pulls it up. So
At least that's good.
So yeah, so let's go to Romans 1:24. So
Hold on,
124 actually through. So 124 through 27.
Or you said Romans 1?
Yeah, Romans 1:24 through 27.
Yeah. Can I go? I'll go ahead and read it. So, therefore, God gave them over to their sinful desires of their hearts to sexual impurity for the degrading of their bodies with one another. They exchanged the truth about God for a lie and worshipped served created things rather than the Creator.
Wait, which version are you reading?
Amen.
Which version are you reading?
The New King James.
Continue.
So I'll continue. Okay. So they exchanged the truth about God for a lie and worship and serve created things rather than the Creator. Who serve for praise. Amen. Because of this, God gave them over to shameful lust. Even their women exchanged natural sexual relations for unnatural ones. In the same way, the men also abandoned natural relations with women and were inflamed with lust for one another. Men committed shameful acts with other men and received in themselves the due penalty for their error. Whoa, I thought there was nothing in the New Testament going against that.
Let's see.
Whoa.
Hold on. Likewise, also the men leaving the natural use of the woman burned into their lust for one another.
Also, I looked up the New King James version and it says it differently than you did. Like, I'm sorry, but I did.
No,
wait, there's nothing. But there's nothing in the New Testament going to. Oh,
it does.
Wow.
So what we're seeing here is likewise also the men leaving the natural use of the woman burned into their lust for one another. What does that mean?
So
what does that mean? Verse 27. What does that mean?
So burning in the lust for one another.
Man and woman
is no. They left
does that
women.
not say man and woman? Or am I misinterpreting that? Likewise, also the men leaving the natural use of the woman, burned into the lust for one another.
leaving the natural use of a woman for one another. Men.
Maybe I'm like misinterpreting this verse.
So keep going. After it says for one another, what does it say?
It says
keep going.
But you just men with men committing what is shameful and receiving themselves in the penalty which of their error which is due. This is just
No.
lust.
Don't add words. Continue reading what you're saying.
Men committing what is shameful and receiving in themselves the penalty of their error which was due.
Yeah, that's what it says.
This is talking
in the
about
New King James version.
This is talking about lust. I don't understand.
You don't understand what the word lust means?
No, you worded the passage completely differently than it says on the New King James version.
Are y'all not reading the same thing, or
you said New King James version? I looked up New King James version. It is worded differently than you are saying.
No, it
not
is.
at all.
I mean, I don't think he worded it differently.
He did use different words. I was looking at it while he was reading.
So likewise, also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burn in their lust for one another. Men with men committing what is shameful,
and receiving in themselves the penalty of their error, which is due. Yeah, it's talking about lust.
Exactly.
It's talking about lust. So.
Burn in their lust for one another. Men with men. Do you not see the verse where it says men with men?
Yes, committing what is shameful. Lust.
Thank you.
Lust.
Exactly.
It's talking about lust.
Exactly. So are you saying that? So let's just pretend like we completely don't understand anything whatsoever. So men with men committing lust with one another, that being shameful, what does that tell you?
That lust is wrong. in accordance with the view.
And
if you hold the Christian view.
so, no, brother, you said a really great thing. So lust is wrong.
Yes.
And
In
they were,
accordance with the Christian
and so
view,
the, and so those men were committing lust with who?
Point here isn't who it was with. It was just in
Oh.
general. That
Yeah.
lust is wrong. I think you're
Chat,
misinterpreting
y'all
the
saw that,
passage.
right? Chat, did y'all just see
Hold on,
that?
hold on,
You
hold on.
couldn't answer the question.
Let's
He
hold on.
did.
I did. I mean, it doesn't really matter who it's with. It's just
It doesn't
lust is wrong
matter,
in accordance with the
but
view.
what?
Are
but
you
y'all
saying? Are you
said
saying lust
that-
is okay? A man between a man and woman? Are you saying that lust is okay?
No, lust is
Precisely
not
the point.
okay
In accordance with the
whatsoever.
Christian view, lust is like wrong.
The only person, actually, you know what? The only person maybe I might be allowed to lust after is my wife. Because I look at her and go, damn, you look sexy. Is that not lusting? You just muted me.
I did. I felt uncomfortable.
Okay, so the whole premise of how we got here.
Can you just
I
can we go
appreciate
back
how-
on the first point, bro?
I know,
We're
I
not
appreciate
doing.
how we
You
got here.
can't track it. You cannot track your own scripture. Okay, so you
No,
called for the
someone-
unalivement of Donald Trump. Yes or no?
Wait, no, who said that there was nothing in the New Testament saying anything anti?
None of us ever said that there
Yeah,
wasn't.
we
We
were just
asked you
asking
to
for
bring
proof.
one in the New Testament.
Wow. Okay, so do you now see that the New Testament shows that the
It
LGBT
talks about
community
lust. That
goes
is what it's
against
taught.
God.
That it is talking about lust. That is what it's talking about.
So this is the truth of the gospel. I will be the first to say that. I mean, if you're
Wait.
pro-choice, if you're LGBTQ, all that stuff, you're not evil. You're living in a sinful life, like I have, like the majority of
I
us.
mean, you're
have
currently
in our
living in a
lives.
sinful life.
It could be, but what I'm saying
So you're
is,
legally pro-choice, morally pro-life.
what I'm saying is,
Yes or no? Yes or no? Hold on. Legally
all of
pro-choice,
us-
morally pro-life.
brother, can I please finish my statement?
Go for it.
So all of us have been in a sinful life, whether you be LGBTQ, whether you lust. I mean, because a lot of Christians are going to bring up Leviticus. Like I said earlier, when talking about LGBTQ, if you want to follow Leviticus, you need to follow all 613 laws. What I say is we're under a new covenant through Jesus. So no one goes to the Father except through Jesus. So
Well, you just admitted
yes.
that we're like all in a sinful life, but that doesn't mean we should be
Can-
put in prison, meaning that you are
didn't say-
legally
you didn't
pro-choice.
say I could-
Legally pro-choice,
you
right?
didn't say I could finish.
Are you legally pro-choice?
You said I could finish.
Yeah, your argument's
So-
going nowhere. You're just yapping to yap. I'm sorry to tell you that, buddy.
Brother,
Just answer my question. Are you legally pro-choice, morally pro-life?
I'm pro-life
Legally.
across the board.
Okay.
So no, what I'm saying is, even if someone is pro-choice and they do have an abortion, they are not damned. They are still loved, and they can still seek redemption.
So why do you want to ban? Why do you want to ban abortion?
Brother, can I please finish my statement? So they can still seek redemption through Jesus. Guess what? Sin is sin. If you murder, that's a sin. If you lie, that's a sin. There is no tier to sin. All sin is sin. So what I'm saying is, if any Christian says that one sin is above another, or anything is above something else, that is a fallacy. What the Bible says is Jesus is the only way. And once you accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior,
Now you're
you
just
will
now you're
burn
just bruh.
Jeremiah,
hold on.
can you make me big screen?
Hold on real quick because I'm fucking lost. What was I gonna say? You are now you're arguing something that I didn't even argue, quite frankly.
No, I'm preaching the
you're
gospel.
arguing
Y'all
something I
don't
didn't even
like that.
argue. So what you're arguing here
No,
is that
I'm-
Wait, did you read it?
all sin, yeah, it says your religion.
No.
Yeah. So hold on.
No,
I
didn't
let
see
you
it.
talk. I let you talk. Just let me say
No, I
something.
want to see
Jesus,
what Max is.
that's,
Okay, let him
that's-
finish talking.
That's
My
great.
thing will
Just let
still
me
be there.
just
Yeah,
let me address what you
I'll-
said.
I want to see Max's prompt.
That's amazing. That's perfect. Glad to
You'll
hear
see
that.
it after he finishes talking.
Cool. So,
Cool.
what you said is all sins are equal. Why should we ban abortion if all sins are equal? That means we should ban every single sin in accordance with your view, right?
Well, honestly, when you look actually the laws of our country, the Ten Commandments are essentially banned. You can't steal. You can't
It's not an
murder.
answer to my question, bro. What the fuck?
You can't bear. You can't. No, I'm answering your question because the majority, pretty much the majority.
Super chat and said,
Commandments, not Leviticus, but the Ten Commandments. And yes, I said a lot of them, not all of them, because again, if, like you said, if you tell your kids that Santa Claus is real, are you gonna be? Should you be thrown in jail? No. But if you steal from your kids, maybe. If you unalive your kids, maybe. If you tell someone that your kid did something, unalive someone, yes.
That's not an answer to my question.
I just answered your question. I didn't answer
Brother,
your
you
question
did not.
the
You
way
can't
wanted
track,
me to
bro.
answer it.
Brother, you cannot track. Can we just go back to your first claim that you called for the unenlightenment of President Donald Trump?
Brother, why?
Wait, can you make me
go
big screen so he can read it now?
We're talking about something completely different.
Are you reading it?
Yeah, your religion does not prohibit me from anything. It prohibits you. Learn the difference. Cool.
Yeah.
So, my religion says you should not murder. So,
That's
Max,
great.
are you saying you should be allowed to?
No,
'Cause my
because of
religion
subjective
says that.
morality. Because I don't drive my morals from the Bible.
Wait. So you're saying that murder is subjective, not objective?
I said morals are subjective. Murder, the act, is not subjective.
You said murder is a subjective reality.
No, I said
You literally
morals
just
are
said that.
subjective.
No, you said you literally host. You replay things I said. You rewind 20 seconds. You replay everything.
I literally said morals, but okay.
I said the Bible is the authority. Commandments, not Leviticus, but the Ten Commandments. I said to unalive someone. Yes. Oh, my religion says you should not murder. So,
That's
Max,
great.
are you saying you should be allowed to?
No,
Because
because
my
of
religion
subjective
says that.
morality. Because I don't drive my
Subjective
morals from the
morality.
Bible.
Wait.
Subjective
Hold on,
morality.
pause, both of you. Hold on.
Morality.
Hold on. We're gonna finish the whole clip. Hold on. Just don't interrupt. Hold on.
Because of subjective morality.
And you should be allowed to?
No,
Because
because
my
of
religion
subjective
says that.
morality. Because I don't drive my morals from the Bible.
Yeah.
So you're
what Max said was
No.
right. What
Yeah.
you said is wrong.
I did not say
I
murder
said-
is subjective.
I said, should you be allowed to murder? You said no because of subjective reality.
Morality.
I think
MORALITY.
So I think
Morality.
I think not being able to murder should be objective morality.
It's just simply not objective morality because some people believe that it is morally acceptable. So it is simply just not objective.
Which people believe that? Let me ask you that.
Serial unalivers.
Yeah, maybe the people who
Exactly.
Bro, can we hold on? Can we just go back to the first claim that you made, please, bro?
The worst people in the
We're wasting
world
time here.
believe that murder is okay. Yes. But the righteous believe it's not. And what you just said, Max, is that murder is subjective morality.
Murder being wrong is
Wow.
subjective morality. Yes, that's where it is.
Yeah,
Morals
but
are
that's-
subjective.
That's the difference between you and I. I think it's objective. I don't think it's subjective.
If it was objective, everyone would think unaliving is wrong.
Well, everyone who doesn't have a sociopathic ideology, like Hitler or any other serial killer in the world, everyone outside of those people believe that murder is wrong. Are you saying, Max? Are you saying that any sane person, any morally right person would not believe that murder is wrong. Is that what you're
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
Wow. Chat, y'all just heard that, right?
But that's my subjective
Wait,
moral view.
Hold on. Repeat the question you asked.
So my question was, would any I probably can't repeat it the same exact way, but
Anyone who believes
Well, no, I'm pretty sure his
Like,
question was
believing that-
well, no, his question was, does any righteous person believe that murder is not? Hold on, I'm just gonna replay because I think
Yeah,
I think
murder is
Max,
not
I think
bad.
Max answered
Yeah,
the question
go-
wrong. Hold on,
go,
let me just
go
replay.
ahead and replay it.
I heard- I said-
Theology,
Hold on.
like Hitler was saying that any sane person. Are you saying, Max? Are you saying that any sane person, any morally right person, would not believe that murder is wrong? Is that what you're
Yes.
saying?
Oh, I heard it wrong.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's my
clarify that.
fault.
yeah. No, host. I appreciate the fact that you actually replay the words because that's fair. So, and Max, I appreciate the fact saying that you heard it wrong. So that's fair.
I thought you were saying that any like sane, morally right person thinks it's wrong. That's my bad.
Yeah, no, I was just saying pretty much
Yeah,
anyone
where the
has
fuck is this
a.
argument going? Can we debate on why you called for the death of the current?
So this debate has been.
You're not going to
it's
address
moved-
that, bro. Why aren't you going to address
it's
that?
It's moved into the right, exactly where it needs to move to.
Okay, bro, you're getting kicked if you don't answer my question.
What, bro? Yapping
Yeah,
about.
you're getting kicked, buddy. You have 5 seconds. Tell me why you called for the unalivement of the president.
I said if it was true.
It is true. It
It's
was a
not
libel.
true,
He admitted
though.
to this.
No,
Quite frankly, he said
I
he grabbed
said
him with a
I
pussy without
said
asking.
if it was.
Yeah, if it
And
was,
now
and in
I
this
s-
case it is true. So in accordance with
see-
your view, it is.
I
He called
see
for his
that
death.
you just showed that I was right about what I said, and now you're trying to go back to hours ago. So, brother, I do appreciate both.
I'm gonna hit a restart, y'all. I'll be back. I'll be back. I'll probably be back in like 5-10 minutes. I'm gonna take a quick break. So I'll be back in like 5-10 minutes. Over on YouTube, I hate to end. Oh, well, actually, yeah, over on YouTube, we went on for 2 hours, so I'm probably gonna restart.
Me, I don't care about white man law. I think white man law is BS. But a lot of people in my community, they're like, yeah, we got to be respectable. We got to follow the law. When they go low,
Exactly.
we go high, right?
All that.
And I have conversations with these Bammers where I say, hey, this is what your law says. You're supposed to do this. And you know what they say to me?
What?
They say, I don't care. They say them niggas did something anyway. So you know what that shows the 1,300 people in here? The fuck we going high for? If they go low, look, I'll gladly spend 2 hours.
Yeah.
My tagline on my website is the home of intellectual violence. I'll gladly spend 2 hours doing enhanced interrogation with my mouth, no pause, on a Yahtzee.
That's crazy. But
you feel me?
I feel what you're saying, but at the same time, I'm reading the comments and they're like, Uncle Tom, this and that. Is he peeing? It's a lot of jokes. Yeah, I seen it. I'm not gonna lie.
Where you from? Where you from now, Primo?
I'm from Harlem.
Ain't no way. Look,
I'm from Harlem.
I'm gonna tell you, I went to school on 131st Street and Convent Avenue.
Okay.
Dead in the middle of Harlem. Mott Hall.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I'm from 177th Street.
Okay.
Washington Heights. I took the M100 bus every day to go to school.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Say something really.
I'm from the east side.
Really quick.
Yeah, you good.
All right. So, first things first, all right, is that we're not going to call a black man an Uncle Tom. We're not doing that. All right. Because if you're calling a black man an Uncle Tom, that tells me that you haven't read the book. All right. And that says more about you than it does about Primo. So I need you all to understand that. I'm not going to tell you what we would actually call him because That's neither here nor there. But I do know that it tells me that you haven't read the book. Also, I bet not see a white person using that in my chat, all right? Or else you're going to meet the big B, and that's called blocked. Okay, we don't do that because it's for black people only, all right? I just want to let that be known, guys, all right? That's it. Anywho, you two continue on. I'm listening and I'm learning.
All right, I'm gonna tell you something. Yeah, and I'm glad Erica said that, but I'm gonna tell you, one Harlem nigga to another, you can't hurt my feelings. That don't mean nothing to me. On the internet, somebody calling me nigga, Uncle Tom, anything, you can't hurt my feelings. You know, I'm a hefty dude. You know I'm a hefty dude, right? When these people who follow me know this. If one of these cats come up here and be like, you fat, I just call him a chubby chaser. I just let him know, yo, you want to lay your head on my chest and caress me. I know you want to be held, but my wife is gonna say no because we roast each other, right? Here's what I'm not gonna do, right? Here's what I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna look at some dude that want to go up in little girls' dressing rooms and then talk about it on the radio and be like, yeah, we gonna let him in so that white people could be more racist. They can't be more racist. They're racist. They're just doing their thing.
They're racist.
You know what you should be focused on? Step one of revolution.
Go ahead.
Education.
I'm listening. Education. Okay. So let's talk about education. Let's talk about education, and let's talk about like the verbiage of trying to sound like you educated, right? So we have, and I'm glad that you said that because you from where I'm from. Let's have a conversation. So you have education, right? You have a real education of who you are, where you're from, what you stand for, right? When we are arguing with PDF files, when we are arguing with these people who commit atrocities all over the world and they don't do anything but lie and try to distort the conversation to make it a scholarly conversation, then when we fall into that web that they have spun, then what are we doing, right? So you have these people that have proven that they don't do the research, that they say DEI is whatever they want to say it is. They have proved that they have been racist, sexist, homophobic, all of the above, right? And they can't seem to conform to actual humanity, which promotes the life of somebody else, right? You have Pete Hegseth, you have all of these dudes that get up here, Senator Lindsey Graham, that get up here and say and brag about I'm
so sorry. I do have to call a flag on the play, just to be able to address your point. Like Swan said in the comments, we expose them. All right, so we show the flaws in their logic and we expose them because I think one of the main things that you have to first understand is that we're not doing this for the people necessarily on the panel. It's for the people in the chat who are listening. Between the tube and also between TikTok here, we have about 1,400 people listening. All right. The people who are listening, watching, whether actively or passively, all right, they're going to hear something that's going to spark their interest, their curiosity, and then they're going to go do the research. So that's what it's for. It's for them to learn, for the audience, the supporters, the viewers to learn. All right. And that's the people who come on the panel, they already have made their mind up. All right. And I never think that it's my position to try to change anyone's mind. The next part of it is that you're calling out the gross parts. I'm just going to say the gross parts of the Trump administration. Yet you told us that you voted for Trump. Wasn't nothing new about Trump in 2024.
I said I support.
Oh, did you?
I support Trump. I never said I. No, I didn't.
Okay, all right, cool. My apologies, but you do support him. And you support him because you think that he's going to basically like tear down this system that we have.
Yeah, you got to tear it down because you don't go to the hospital unless your leg is about to fall off. When they say go to the hospital, we see something is wrong. people don't listen to that. But when you're in so much pain, then you go back, right? So, and that's why I apologize when I first came up here. I might be trolling, but yeah, I did vote. I voted for the Green Party. I voted for, yeah. I mean, see,
You
your
voted
eyes
for
lit
Jill
up.
Stein?
Yeah, Jill Stein and a black man who was a Muslim as her vice president, right?
All right, check it out.
So we can't. So this is the real conversation. So I'm gonna let you talk. I'm gonna let you talk, Jeff. But this is the real conversation that we cannot imagine anything else but the Democratic and the Republican Party. So let's start that conversation like right there.
I'm gonna put Jill Stein to the side because she look. My favorite candidate leading up to the election was Jasmine Sherman, right? Let me show you about Jill Stein. If she could, she'd be a Democrat. You know what she's been doing since the election?
Making a Muslim black man her vice president.
Nah, she been on a speaking tour collecting dough. That's what she been doing.
Are we not collecting dough? Is everybody not collecting dough?
Well, let me ask you this: Jasmine Sherman been opening up food banks across the East Coast, where people
for
can
what
eat.
money?
Who cares?
I care.
Jasmine Sherman doesn't take money from any private company. She only takes money from the public. So that means people like you, me, and Jeff. All right, the people that are watching, we donate. All right, so if you are a supporter of hers, that means you donate money to her. So that's who she takes money from.
So, and sorry, Erica, Jasmine is they them, but like
Hey them, I'm so sorry. My apologies.
no, you. So, but I don't. If somebody feeding people, I don't care what they doing to do it. They're putting food in people's mouths.
I do.
It does.
If you taking AIPAC money, if you taking any money from them, we had what's his name? What's the light skinned dude name? That's a Democrat. That's the leader of the Democratic Party. What's his name?
Hakeem Jeffries.
I don't even.
Talking about Hakeem Jeffries?
Yeah.
Who's he feeding?
Because he's a clown, right?
Who's he feeding?
He's not feeding anybody. He's taking that money, and people are thinking that this is a Democratic.
This is the thing you're not. This is the thing you're not. Hold on. Time out. Pause.
Slow down, bro.
This I don't care about Democrats at all. But if you telling me people getting fed, that you're talking about people who ain't feeding people. I'm cool with that. If you take some people that they're giving you money, they're gonna stop giving you the money. But I'm gonna put all of that to the.
A good man, he's a smart man, he's the greatest man to ever step foot on this planet.
You think a rapist is a good man?
That's what they tell you he is, but are you sure that he is what? By the courts, right? By the judge, by the people, by the courts, yeah.
I mean, also he admitted to
you ever
sexual
think about?
exploitation.
Yeah.
His own words.
Is there anything wrong with? I mean, do you think that's the most evil thing to do?
Sexually exploiting women and children is fucking horrible. Yes.
Oh my god, dude.
Do you think sexually exploiting women and children is wrong?
Do I think is wrong?
Yes.
Yeah.
Would it make you stop supporting
wrong.
someone that sexually exploited naked women and children?
No, 100% no.
You would support a sexual exploiter.
You're telling me that he 100% did this?
He admitted to doing this, yes.
He admitted to sexually exploiting women.
And children.
And children. What did he say he did with these children?
He sexually exploited them.
So what did he do?
Let's work on our definition of sexual exploitation. Definition of sexual exploitation is any actual or attempted abuse of position of vulnerability, differential power or trust for sexual purposes. Do you agree or disagree with that definition?
Yeah, man, I could agree with that definition. And if you're going to bring up to what he did with the pageant people, that's his pageant. He came in.
Well, the thing you worry about later.
Oh, I see.
You tend to think about the conflict a little bit later on.
The question is, how can it not be construed? No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And
well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now,
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
like
everything is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
All right, real quick. Give me half a second. I'll let you. We'll talk about this sexual exploiting thing.
Hey.
Yo, what's up? You're still my good boy?
Bro, I have you on a leash.
Bro, you're my good boy. What are you doing? What do you want? What do you want?
I choke you with the leash and collar that I have strapped around you.
Yeah, what do you want? Why are you up here?
What is this video? What was the video that you were playing?
Video that was playing was Donald Trump admitting to sexually exploiting naked women and children.
Why would you have to do it on a leash, man? That's kind of gay.
There's nothing wrong with being gay.
Nah, this guy wasn't here for the inside joke.
Yeah, he wasn't. That was playing Donald Trump admitting to sexually exploiting naked women and children.
Can you play it again?
It's obviously what he said. I mean, it was locker room talk.
I wasn't here for this. I wasn't here.
You don't support Trump, right?
He's talking with the boys. It's locker room talk.
Do you support Trump, Keegan?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keegan's a smart dude.
I thought we knew this.
You didn't. I've seen you on my YouTube shorts. Henry, what's up?
I told you that yesterday, so you would let me up.
I don't know if you, huh?
I told you that yesterday, so you'd let me up quicker. Because you claim to be unbiased.
I claim to be unbiased? No, I have bias. I hate Trump. No. When I report the news, it is unbiased.
Whatever.
Anyways, Donald Trump, you're saying that it's just a locker room talk. That is not just locker room talk. That is literally him admitting. And the reason why it's not locker room talk or it isn't a joke, because Howard Stern clarifies here. In a moment, he'll clarify, do you actually do this?
Too much life experience. What is it?
There's too many clips of him saying nasty things.
It seems like my college football locker room every day.
You've admitted to sexually exploiting naked women and children?
No, but you should hear the talks that go on. Not that.
So men around you admit to sexually exploiting naked women and children?
Not sexually exploiting, but people
that's what
talk
he admitted
about.
to. Listen to this.
You tend to think about the conflict a little bit later on.
The question is, how can it not be construed? No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And
well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now,
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
like
everything is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
So if you or anyone you said something like that, then you guys admitted to sexually exploiting naked women and children, which is horrible, quite frankly.
Didn't you just say a pageant? Wouldn't a beauty pageant be people above the age of 18?
He owned Miss Teen USA, Miss USA, and Miss Universe. Maria Delgado said there was some girls 14, 15, and 16 years old. Minors can't consent, even though, although there was some adults in there. The adults there didn't consent to that either. So it's still sexual exploitation, both women and children.
Yeah, but considering that he would be the owner of the pageant,
that is why it makes it sexual exploitation. My definition of sexual exploitation means any actual attempted abuse of position of vulnerability, differential power, or trust for sexual purposes. He is abusing his position of power and position of trust in saying because he is the owner of the pageant, he can go exploit these women or go walk in on them naked. No, that is not the case. That is literally sexual exploitation by its definition. So you saying he's the owner of the pageant, that is what makes it sexual exploitation.
Is that, yeah?
Yes.
What if he went in there and hypothetically raped one of them? What would you say to that? Would that still be exploitation?
That'd be rape.
Well, yeah, obviously that would be wrong. But would you still say that that's sexual?
That would be rape. If he went in there to rape someone, that would be rape.
Yeah. Obviously that'd be wrong. But what I'm saying is, well, not that he's the owner of the pageant, right? You said he goes in there, he claimed himself. He goes in there and he checks up if everything's okay.
He watches them undress themselves with no clothes on.
As he said,
they're
to
naked.
check up if everything is okay. He specifically said that.
He doesn't have
did
any
not
consent
say,
to be there, and he said they had no clothes on.
okay, why wouldn't they have kicked him out?
He shouldn't have been there to begin with.
Why wouldn't they have said something to him? He's the owner of the pageant. He's giving them money to be there.
That doesn't mean he can walk in on them naked and naked on like little girls.
To check in on them?
Yes. So yet men that he wasn't. He literally said he walks in to watch them undress themselves with no clothes, and then says they're beautiful, and he gets away with things like that. If it was something good that he was doing, would he get away with it? No. Typically, you get away with something bad. Like whenever you steal a cookie from the cookie jar, and you say you get away with it, that's because stealing is wrong.
Well, obviously.
Right. So he gets away with it because it's bad because he watches underage girls and women without their consent because minors can't consent and the women didn't consent. He watches them undress themselves with no clothes, meaning that they're naked. It's a woman's only space, meaning that he does not have consent to be there.
He's the owner of the pageant. Means he's the owner of the property, owner of the business, owner of the company, whatever it is.
Women and children are not property of his.
They're not, but they're workers for him. He could easily fire them at any reason.
He could easily fire them, but that doesn't mean that just like because he's the owner of the pageant, he can walk into a woman's only space.
Is it right? Absolutely not. Is it a gray area? Yeah.
It's not a great. Are men allowed in women's spaces?
Now they are. Nowadays they are.
Okay, so
guys can go into the girls' bathroom. Guys can go into the girls' bathroom and identify as a woman.
Hold on.
And it'd be seen as normal.
Do you agree with men being in women's spaces?
No, I don't.
So
but
then
today it's
hold on.
normalized.
So then under your view, what Donald Trump is wrong, what Donald Trump did was wrong and not a gray area under your view.
I would say that it's a gray area.
No, okay, then it's a gray area. When I ask you the question under your worldview, are men allowed in women's spaces? Is it yes or no? Is it a gray area? What's your answer?
They shouldn't be allowed, but today they are.
No, under your worldview, they should not be allowed, right? They are
should not
not
be allowed. That he's the owner of the pageant.
Cool. No. In general, are men allowed in women's spaces under your worldview?
In my perspective, and what I would consider wrong or right?
Yes.
No.
So
but think about
your
this.
view, it is wrong for Donald Trump to walk into a woman's only space as a man under your view, yes?
So are trans people that do that too.
Okay, sure. Under your worldview, well, let's say that's true. Under your worldview, you think that's true. But in this instance, now you're just arguing that both a trans woman going into a woman's restroom or a woman's dressing room is wrong, just the same as Donald Trump walking into a woman's restroom or woman's dressing room is wrong, yes? He left. Going absolutely nowhere. Yeah, that's because you didn't want to lose, brother. Also, being trans is not wrong, okay? It's not fucking wrong. Fuck. Anyways, if you support Trump, jump up in the guest box. Love to talk to you. Love to have a debate with you. Love to have a conversation with you tonight. Double tap that phone screen over here on TikTok. If you're on YouTube, make sure to hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Over here on TikTok, make sure to follow. Top left corner. To check out my link tree in my bio. You can find my Spotify, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. You can find my my X. You can find my what the fuck else do I have? Blue Sky. Everything. All of the above. Make sure to go over there on link tree in my bio. It's the best way to support this live stream. Okay, we're trying to build a platform here. We're trying to build a community here, and I appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you for the follow, EJS120. Thank you for the follow, MJ. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Unfortunately, the last couple days, or at least right now, we have not gotten push. And I don't want to do a restart. So if you guys don't want to deal with restarts, go over to YouTube, link to my bio. Y'all do not have to deal with any restarts, quite frankly. Quite bigly. What's up, YouTube? What's up? What's up? If you support Trump, jump up in the guest box. Love to talk to you. Love to have a debate with you. Love to have a conversation with you tonight, quite frankly. I think I might have to restart. I still will restart at 15-minute mark, quite frankly. We'll restart at the 15-minute mark. Yeah, what's up? Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
How old are you?
27.
Why do you support Trump?
I believe he's a great person.
You think a rapist is a good person? Or a great person?
I mean, it just goes beyond that in terms of, I mean, what he did obviously is not good.
So rapists aren't good people.
Right.
So then Donald Trump is not a good person.
But he's also trying to, increase manufacturing jobs.
Private investment into manufacturing went down. We lost 92,000 jobs in the month of February. Worst job report since 2009, ignoring periods of recession and COVID times.
But, in terms of AI and all that stuff, he's helping fund those programs and, helping with the development of that.
How is he helping with AI? What policy? With EO?
He's invested money
How
into
much
AI
money
companies.
into what kind of what part of AI? And how much money?
I don't think that exact amount is public, but
okay, so you have no proof?
no.
So then why are you making a claim that you have no proof of? What are we doing, man? What are we doing? That's not logical.
What do you mean it's not logical?
Why do you believe in stuff with no evidence?
I mean, I think the most important thing is he's helping secure our border, right? And we have a lot of people here in this country that are committing crimes.
What year were you born in?
Necessarily. 1998.
What month?
October.
How has he secured the border?
He's kicking people out that aren't supposed to be here and they're illegally
That has nothing to do
entering.
with the border. That has to do with that's to do with like the actual process of mass deporting people are undocumented immigrants, but that has nothing to do with the border. How has he decreased the number of undocumented immigrants coming across the border, or how has he decreased the number of border encounters? And he left. I didn't even kick it. My hands are gonna remain in place until I actually beat this level. Hold on. Oh, okay. My hands were not there. I do it this way. I have not kicked the last two people, quite frankly. Moving on to the next guest. Well, they're not here, which is a bummer. What's up, YouTube? I had meatball hoagies today. They were fucking fire, bro. Oh my god, I make such fire food. Jesus, it's fucking delicious. If you support Trump, join up in the guest box. Love to talk to you. Love to have a debate with you. Love to have a conversation with you tonight.
Property. By the way, hi Araya. By the way, this man has nothing to lose now. Okay?
So you had to leave. I'm talking to the chat.
Okay.
All right, because this is a live. All right, I'm a. Appreciate you. All right, I know, chat, that y'all better be doing all the good things for Jeff. All right, he better be having.
What's up? What's up, people? What's up? What's up? What's up, people? What's up? What's up, people? What's up? Well, let me know what's up down below. Tell me how your day's been. What y'all doing today? What happened today? How's it going, people? Let me know down below in the comment section, whether on YouTube or over here on TikTok. If you're coming in from the restart, make sure to double tap that phone to hit that follow button top left corner. And if you support the current president of the United States of America, make sure to join up in the guest box. Seeing this on your FYP, join up. Click on the actual live stream if you're seeing this on your FYP. Yes, you click on it right now. And if you support Trump, join up in the guest box. If you don't support Trump, make sure to double tap that phone. So you can either way stay if you're friendly, listen to some debates. Quite frankly, that is what we're doing here. That is what we are freaking doing, dude. Debating Trump supporters. tired. I'm tired. I've been on for like 2 hours and a half. Do I see a Dean with his profile picture? I do. Mm. It's gonna be 100 degrees over here in Arizona, bro. Over the weekend, it's gonna be 100 fucking degrees. That is absurd. That is absurd. It's gonna be 100 fucking degrees. Let's actually just go. What's up, y'all? Make sure to say what's up in the comment section down below if you're just joining here. Should have say what's up down below. Make sure to say what's up. If y'all are in here, if you support Trump, join up in the guest box. Love to talk to you. Love to have a faith. Love to have a conversation with you tonight. You guys are gonna probably hear a sound here. If you really like the stream, tap the screen. Yes, y'all, make sure to double tap that phone screen, hit that follow button if you have not already, top left corner. Quite frankly, make sure to join up if you support Trump. We just started the restart, literally 3 minutes ago. Typically, it takes us like 5 minutes to get actual people in here. Trump says he's willing to use nukes on Iran today. Trump supporters, make sure to join up in the guest box. Best president, join up right now. Quite frankly, make sure to join up. What are we doing? Where are the Trumpies? Sorry, this is so boring for you guys, YouTube. Very, very fucking boring. What are we doing? Make sure to join up in the guest box if you support Donald Trump. And if you don't, make sure to double tap that phone screen. We just hit the restart here as of a couple minutes ago. So oh boy. Oh boy. Oh brother. Press down on the host screen, share out the live, please and thank you. Absolutely. People are going to think that's the second person who said that this live stream. People are going to think I'm buying bots. I'm buying Russian bots. Quite frankly, they're here telling y'all to tap that phone screen. Wow, I am tired today. Jesus. I woke up pretty early. Oh, I got to edit some videos. I'm not gonna have people up during debates, but there's no one to debate. So what's up? Grifting for likes, I'm grifting. What's up, Gavin?
The Apollo 17 mission didn't actually happen, Professor.
What?
And what did you say about my grandmother? I should come down to that school and kick your ass.
I'm confused.
Have you ever seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
No.
Wow.
I'm uncultured.
See, this is how I know that you're. This is how I know you're that age.
Yeah, I'm uncultured. I've been told.
Dude, you have to watch
movies.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
I don't watch Disney, Marvel, whatever the fuck it's called.
Just say you love Israel at this point.
I actually don't like the government of Israel or Benjamin Netanyahu, but yeah, whatever you want to infer.
How do you not watch movies? Like, what do you do in your free time?
I debate.
Or what did you do as a child?
That's weird.
When you got home from
That's a vague
school.
question.
When you got home from school, what was the first thing you did besides eating?
The first thing I did was shower.
Okay. And then, did you ever watch TV? Did you ever sit down and watch cartoons?
I watched the local channel, like Cubo. Yo, what's up? Do you support Trump?
Of course, look at my name.
It says Republican edits.
That's depressing.
Yeah,
all right, have fun with Jeremiah's.
Oh, you take care, Gavin. But you support Trump?
You just asked me that.
You didn't answer my question with a yes or no, quite frankly.
Yeah, he's my profile picture.
Oh yeah, why do you support Trump, man?
How could you not? I'm not gonna lie. I did like the first term better than the second, simply because of lower gas prices, Keystone Pipeline. He ended some wars overseas. He reinforced the security of the border.
So the reasons why you voted for him: no new wars, gas prices lowered, getting rid of inflation, ending the Russian-Ukraine war within 24 hours. He's walked back on that multiple different times. Gas prices are high. He started a war with Iran. Inflation went up in 2025. He is now lifting sanctions off of Russian oil. All of that contradicting compared to a year ago. So how do you still support him?
Like I just said, I like the first term going.
Well, why do you currently still support him?
Because he gets shit done.
What did he get done besides starting a new war and raising gas prices?
Sorry, I'm eating. The big beautiful bill, which you're obviously not in agreement with.
Yeah, why was the big beautiful bill good?
It cut the people that were abusing the healthcare system, that were sitting at home doing nothing and getting free healthcare.
Yeah, well, why do you support work requirements on healthcare? On Medicaid. Why do you
support what?
Why do you support work requirements on Medicaid?
Because I don't need people getting taken advantage of. My taxes going up to pay for the people that are lazy.
Okay, so then you think people who don't work and are quote unquote lazy, you think they shouldn't be accessing the police force or 911, right? Because that's funded by taxpayer dollars. So you think we should have work requirements for people for dialing 911, right?
Yeah.
And you think we should have work requirements for driving on the road? Because roads are also funded by taxpayer dollars, right?
No, those are stated by the government that those people are going to pay for it using the taxes. The people you're not guaranteed health, like free healthcare. You're just being lazy.
The relevance here is that the 911, like someone dialing 911, that's funded by taxpayer dollars. That is paid by taxpayer dollars, right? That is all we're referencing here.
Would you rather people that are getting almost murdered and their house broken into not be able to call 911?
Under your worldview, we should impose work requirements. So under your worldview, yes, people who don't work should be murdered and not be able to call 911.
That's just not what I said.
Hold on, but you said work requirements on things that are funded by taxpayer dollars so that they aren't lazy.
You're just twisting my words at this point.
So then why do you support work requirements on social safety nets?
Because people take advantage of the government.
Okay, so then you support work requirements on the police force.
Mm-hmm. Not people. So you're saying that you would rather...
Wait, hold on. You just agreed. You support work requirements on the police force, meaning That if someone calls 911, if someone is getting like absolutely
Yo, keep talking.
robbed, they should not be able to call 911.
Mm-hmm. They should be able to call 911.
You said they shouldn't because you agree that there should be work requirements.
I'm eating, bro.
What's the relevance?
I accidentally misspoke while I was eating. I'm eating fries right now, actually.
That's great.
Cheers.
So do you agree with the work requirements on calling 911?
No. Why would I?
Because what is the difference between Medicaid, which is funded by taxpayer dollars, and then the police force, which is also funded by taxpayer dollars? What is the relevant difference?
I'm talking about Medicaid, or the people that don't have a disability.
What is the relevant difference?
Can I finish talking? And maybe I'll get to that.
Go for it.
The people that are having free healthcare and Medicaid, the people that, I get that you can't work if you're disabled. I completely get that. That's completely fine. You should get free healthcare for that. The people that are not working, choosing not to work, staying home and getting their monthly checks for money for doing nothing, sitting on the couch watching CNN all day, those kind of people. Yeah, you're laughing, huh? But it's true. Those kind of people shouldn't be getting paychecks and free healthcare for absolutely doing nothing.
And those kind of people shouldn't be able to access the police force, right?
Those people should, because that's their lives in danger.
Healthcare also saves lives. Preventative healthcare
saves lives. Yeah, but you should work for that.
Wait, but okay, you should also work for saving your lives in terms of the police force. In both scenarios, they both save lives, and they're both funded by taxpayer dollars, and both individuals don't have a job because they choose not to have a job. So what is the relevant difference to say that one should have a work requirement and the other one shouldn't?
One is getting abused, one is not.
Okay, you have no evidence that Medicaid is getting abused.
Why would he cut people that are
Because he wants to kill Americans.
Oh, yeah, right. That's why he secures the border, right?
That's why Renee Nicole Good, Keith Porter Jr., Alex Purdy was murdered, yes. That's why he started the war with Iran. 15 U.S. service members have been killed, over a dozen wounded. Yes, that's why we bombed a school full of children, 165 to 175 children, yes. This is, I don't want to get banned, but this is a murderous wannabe dictator.
Oh, is it a wannabe dictator?
Yes, I mean the September 2nd attacks on the boats. That was literally murder. He's not a dictator, but he's a wannabe dictator. Yes.
What do you think about taking down dictators?
Also, AC here makes a good point. People abuse 911 all the time. That's why they made it a crime to call without an emergency. That is a great point. If you literally call if you call 911 without actually having an emergency, that is a crime. Now, if you think that your life is in danger, then that's different. But if you know your life is not in danger and you still call if you know that there's I don't know how to specifically word it, but if you think you're being followed around, you think someone's following you, that's obviously reasonable to call the cops. Anyone should do that. But in an instance where you're just calling 911 for no reason at all, right? That's a crime. Yeah, that's a crime. So people do abuse the 911. So back to the point, what is the relevant difference between Medicaid and then calling 911?
One's being abused, one's not.
Are you saying people don't call 911 without actually having an emergency or fearing for their life, or fearing in some type of danger, in some type of relevant danger?
You realize that it's a law.
Yeah, fraud is also illegal. So people who commit fraud in terms of Medicaid, that's illegal, and they get held accountable for that. So what's the relevant difference now?
Oh my God! How many times do I have to explain this? The people. Why did they make it a law?
Both of them have a law. Fraud is illegal, right?
Oh, I was reading the chat. Sorry. The people who the law, right? Calling law enforcement for unreasonable reasons. That's a law because you're taking up the line for someone who can be actually needing to call 911 for their life.
As well as committing fraud in terms of Medicaid, that's also illegal. Yes.
Yeah.
So then what's the relevant difference? Both of them have a law put in place to them. Both of them, and the individual that is saying they choose not to work, both of them are funded by taxpayer dollars.
You're
both
fucking
of them
brainwashed.
What is the difference? He left. He ran away. What are we doing? Oh my God, brother. What are we doing? Master Debater's in the queue, but Justin here has been in quite a while. Justin, what's up, buddy?
Hey, buddy. How are you doing, man?
Good. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Why do you support Trump?
I just believed in his policies over Kamala Harris. I believed in his position on abortion. I liked his position on immigration. I liked his position on the military. And I liked his economic agenda with deregulation and reducing taxes. Although I'd like to see a little bit more of it.
What do you support on immigration?
Enforcing our immigration laws.
So you're saying Biden and Harris didn't enforce our immigration laws?
Not enough. We have way too many illegal immigrants in this country. I think we need to reduce them by a lot. And I think that Trump has made an initiative to, have ICE go in and find these people and deport them.
Well,
and I think that's very important to having a sovereign nation.
Well, what has he done to reduce border encounters? What has he done?
Border encounters?
Yeah.
Could you explain what border encounters means?
People that are encountered at the border.
I don't know. He's had ICE enforce the laws
nothing
and
to do
deport
with like the
people.
borders, though. That's inside the United States. We're talking about the borders. How has he reduced the border encounters by roughly 90%?
No, I think that he's enforced the immigration laws, and I think that he doesn't have a way to really continue the southern border. Continue building the wall and all that stuff because that has to go through Congress. But I think he's ramped up ICE's effort to deport people and get rid of people that are here illegally, and I think that's been the most important thing.
Well, again, that's not really immigration. So the answer that I'll accept is like I said, mass deportation has nothing to do with the border. That you said he's enforcing the law. So which law was not enforced under Biden that is enforced under Trump that made border encounters decrease by 90%?
Okay, well, so in terms of laws that are enforced, I think that he has ramped up his effort with ICE, and I think that ICE has been way more efficient and strong in going and finding people that are here illegally and deporting them, as compared to Joe Biden.
ICE has nothing to do with border encounters. ICE goes after the people that are already in the country undocumented. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the actual border. Okay, so Joe Biden had the same initiative with ICE as Trump.
That's not the claim I'm making. We're not talking about ICE yet.
What claim are you making then?
I'm just asking you a question. How did Donald Trump reduce the border encounters?
Right. What you're trying to tell me is that Trump has not effectively made the border stronger and reduced.
My question is, how did he reduce the border encounters?
We still have the same border. We still have the same checkpoints. We still have the same process. That hasn't changed. I'm talking about his initiative with ICE and having people that are here illegally deported.
ICE has nothing to do with the border. My question is,
ICE is the one that encounters people that are here illegally
inside the country. Yes, we're talking about border encounters before they come into the country and are encountered at the border. How has he reduced that?
What part of the executive branch is ICE fall under?
What type of relevance does that hold?
You don't, because you're trying to, you think you're schooling me on the process of immigration.
I'm not trying to get you in a gotcha. I'm just asking you a question.
Yeah, because you're getting frustrated, and I don't even know what you're talking about. Trump is clearly stronger.
People who are encountered at the borders. Do you know what that means? Border encounters.
Yeah, obviously.
They've been reduced 90%. Yes?
Who encounters them?
Border Patrol. It could be
ICE.
ICE? No, Border Patrol.
Who is Border Patrol?
Border Patrol is part of DHS. And then ICE would be part of DHS.
Who is part of DHS? Yes.
Who's part of DHS?
Are you serious right now?
Are you just, what are we doing here?
ICE is part of DHS. You don't understand that
ICE. Do you think ICE and Border Patrol are the same thing?
Yes, they are the same thing. Are you kidding me?
They are the same exact thing.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So continue on with how Biden had the same immigration policy as Trump, and as it relates to border encounters. My point is that Trump has been a lot stronger, and that's been my point.
But you do not understand the point that I'm making. Yeah. What's one benefit of mass deportation? Material benefit. What's one material benefit of mass deportation?
Because we're a nation of laws and we have immigration laws. And if you're here illegally, you're kicked out. That's the law. It doesn't
Okay,
matter
so
what the
then-
benefit is.
Well, I'll just have to point out some contradictions. He voted for a convicted felon 34 times. And
That has nothing to do with immigration.
Well, no, that's a
Yeah,
contradiction.
has
You said
nothing to do with immigration.
we enforce laws, right?
We're a nation of laws.
Yeah. So we shouldn't vote in a criminal. Yes.
We did.
We shouldn't, under your worldview.
What was he convicted of? What was he
falsifying business
charged
records.
with?
Falsifying business records, predicate with another crime.
Okay. And why hasn't he been impeached and why hasn't he been charged with a crime?
been
Why isn't he in
impeached
prison? Yeah. And got reelected.
Yeah. The reason why he's not in prison is presidential immunity.
Okay. And why wasn't he impeached this term?
Republicans control the House, the Senate, and Republicans.
So
bend the knee to-
because you don't have a majority in Congress, you can't bring up articles of impeachment?
Yeah, because if MAGA is a cult, yes, absolutely. So the reason why he's not been impeached yet is due to the fact that his party holds the majority.
Okay, so because Trump somehow has all of these convictions and these crimes that he committed, so we should just erase all of our immigration laws, according to you, right?
No, that's I'm just pointing out a contradiction. Your claim was that
A contradiction.
Yes.
We should enforce the law
But
on
not
the
when it comes
books
to
for
Donald Trump,
immigration, but only when we have a president that didn't violate laws that you said that he violated.
Hold on, I agree. We're attacking your view right now, right? You made a claim that we enforce laws, unless it comes to Donald Trump, right? That's your view.
No, you made a
then we should
claim
enforce-
that we only enforce laws.
Never said that.
Yeah, you said that because I supported Trump, we shouldn't enforce immigration law. That's what
not
you
what I
said.
said.
What did you say then? So so you're saying we should enforce immigration law?
We're talking. Holy burdenship. We're talking about what you're trying to say.
Your point was that Trump is a convicted felon and convicted of all these crimes.
Why did
so
I
we
say
should,
that though? Why did I say that?
Because I said we're a nation of laws and we should enforce the law
Precisely.
as it
So
relates to immigration.
I'm pointing out a contradiction. If you say we're a nation of laws and we should follow laws and we should hold people accountable when they violate laws, then why didn't you hold Donald Trump accountable? You voted for him, which made him not be held accountable. I'm pointing out a contradiction. I'm not telling you my view on anything. I'm simply pointing out a contradiction within your own view and within your argument.
Yeah, but I don't fall into your trap and your argument about
It's not a
Donald
trap,
Trump
bro.
being convicted
You
of all
have a
these crimes.
contradiction.
Bro, he's not a felon, okay? If he was actually a convicted felon and charged and actually a court found him actually criminally liable, he would be in prison.
Yes.
He was charged.
He was charged.
He's not in
yes.
prison and he's still the president.
Presidential
So
immunity.
clearly it
I already
wasn't strong
answered these
enough.
questions.
He was charged before he was president.
Bro, he was charged 34 times on falsifying
Were the
business
felony
records.
counts brought up
Yes.
before he was president?
So you agree that there were felony counts, yes?
Before he was president.
Right. He's a convicted felon though, right?
Before he was president.
Was he a convicted felon?
Answer my question. Before he was president,
Is he
you
a
just said
convicted
the only
felon, yes or
reason
no?
is because he had presidential immunity.
Yes, because
You're
the
100%.
judge didn't want to
Yeah, see,
arrest
you know I
sitting
got
president.
you. You know I got you there too.
Judge said he didn't want to arrest
You're
the sitting
probably going to
president.
dumb me, but we can go back and forth on Trump being a felon. The
It's
fact
a
of the
fact
matter
that he's a
is,
felon,
it
right?
does
That's a
not
fact.
negate the fact that we
Well, hold on.
we
Is it a fact
enforce
that,
immigration
hold
law.
on. Is it a fact that he's a felon?
Oh yeah,
You can agree
of
or
course.
Cool. So then what you said before saying that he isn't a felon is like just nonsense.
Right, and that doesn't
So then
also
he is a
negate the
felon.
fact
So
that
then why did you vote in a felon? Why?
because the felon is the one that's going to enforce the law against
The one who broke the law is going to enforce the law.
So you can enforce the law if you broke the law?
Okay, so hold on. I'll just address something. You said the felon, the person who broke the law, is going to enforce the law. Proven wrong. He's violated the Constitution, the first, the second, the fourth, the fifth, the 10th, the 14th, and then the 26th.
So because he violated,
all within
he
his
can't
first year.
enforce the law? So he's unable to enforce the law if he violated the law.
He's violating the Constitution.
You're violating the Constitution by saying we shouldn't uphold immigration laws. Are you serious?
How does that violate? I never said that, A, but B, if I did, hypothetically,
this
how does
is-
that violate
this
the
is your-
Constitution? Hold on. How does that
Yeah.
violate the Constitution if I said that?
Because in your view, if the president, according to you, was convicted or committed a crime he can no longer be able to enforce the laws as outlined in the executive branch of the Constitution.
That's not
so
what I said.
if any sitting president broke the law, they can no longer enforce the law. Do you realize that we would have multiple presidents in history that would be a lame president that would not be able to enforce the law in the Constitution?
That's not what I said.
You realize
why are you misinterpreting what I said? Why are you misinterpreting what I said? We're not.
You have no idea what you're talking about. That's your problem.
Hold on. You're trying to attack my view. You can do that after, but right now we're going after your view and what you believe in,
which is immigration law.
You believe in laws. You believe in laws and holding people accountable.
You tried to tell me
you want to hold people accountable. Yes.
No, I want to enforce the law.
You don't want to hold people accountable.
Was Trump not subject to the law?
Hold on. Enforcing the law is holding people accountable. Yes.
No, it's enforcing the law. Holding accountable is a generalized term.
Okay.
If we were in court right now,
that's where you're mistaken.
You would be removed because that's a platitude. That's a normative statement.
How do you enforce immigration law?
That's a normative statement. You keep bouncing around.
How do you enforce?
You have no principles.
Hold on. How do you enforce immigration law?
With the executive branch through the DOJ.
What mean? Like how? You're telling me what
you're asking me how the executive branch operates. They enforce laws. Congress writes laws.
Yes.
Let's go back to basics.
Hold on.
The Congress writes the laws and the executive branch enforces the laws.
How do they enforce it?
Immigration policy through the DOJ and the DHS.
Cool. How does the DOJ enforce it?
ICE and border control. DOJ litigates the cases and they kick people out if they're not seeking asylum.
Perfect. So that's perfect.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
Perfect. Then enforcing the law in terms of immigration would be kicking people out if they're not seeking asylum and they're here undocumented, right? At the end of the day, that is how they enforce the law. Yes. That is also called holding them accountable. You fucking donut.
Oh wow.
Are you that dense? Are you that dense to say that kicking people out who aren't supposed to be here, who are not seeking asylum, that is not holding them accountable?
All right, chat. Let's also listen here. Let's listen to me cook this guest. So, where an which article falls under the executive branch? Which article is the executive branch in the Constitution?
Yeah,
real quick. Let me see your hands.
What's the relevance?
Yeah, let me see your hands. Don't type because you don't even understand the law.
I'm playing the game. What's the relevance?
You don't understand the law.
What can you tell me the relevance? Or are you not going to address what I said? You made the claim.
You asked me who enforces the laws.
You made the claim that enforcing the law does not equal holding people accountable. I just proved you wrong.
Yes. So you're going to tell me where
you concede that enforcing the law equals holding people accountable. Yes.
Show me an article. Which number is the executive branch? Look it up.
It's yes or no, bro.
Which part of the Constitution is the executive branch? Yeah, I'm going to answer your question. This is why I'm schooling you. Because nowhere in the executive authority of the Constitution does it say we are to, hold people accountable. That is not part of the Constitution.
Bro, enforcing the law means you're holding them accountable.
Law means
you already conceded to that.
Text and words matter.
Wait, hold on.
Article 2 does not state. I blew it for you. Article 2 does not state holding people accountable.
Bro, you already conceded to the fact that enforcing the law equals holding people accountable.
You just have no answers because you have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, a simple yes or no. Does enforcing the law mean we're holding people accountable? Yes or no?
You think you're cooking. No, it does not. The text of the law matters and you don't understand the law.
So enforcing the law does not mean we're holding people accountable, to be clear?
Yeah. And you don't understand immigration law. You don't understand the Constitution. You don't understand the executive branch, but yet you're debating politics on TikTok.
So
my suggestion,
why do you believe enforcing the law does not equal under your worldview holding people accountable?
Because you're asking a subjective question. You're asking me a question and you're using text that has nothing because law is not opinion. Yes. Is law opinion?
I'm asking you. I'm not asking you about a certain type of law. I'm asking you in general speaking, when we do enforce the law, when we do, hold on, you're not going to answer my question with a question. In general, when we do enforce the law under your worldview, why is it not considered holding people accountable under your worldview? So yes, that is going to be subjective. Why do you have to like point out the fact that it was subjective? Yes, that's like that should be common sense. That is subjective. That is a subjective question that you are unwilling to answer.
Because my opinion does not matter as it relates to law.
Then why the fuck are we debating? Holy shit! If your opinion doesn't matter, why are we debating? We're debating on opinions. Why you believe what you believe and why I believe what I believe. It's as simple as that. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
How old are you?
I am 19 years old.
Yeah, why do you support Trump?
Well, we can, after that terrible performance, we can go back to the immigration thing. So I believe your first question was on how did he secure the border, correct?
Yes.
That would be because he ended the catch and release policy and reinstated the remain in Mexico policy. So it's the same number of apprehensions at the border. They're just not being released into the country. They're remaining in Mexico while they await their immigration hearing.
Remain in Mexico is for asylum seekers.
It's actually, he extended it in the One Big Beautiful Bill. He extended it to all apprehensions at the border.
Okay, so you're saying the border encounters have gone, or a reduction in undocumented entry is a thing because of the fact that he extended it into saying it. Can you provide evidence for that? I actually haven't read that, genuinely.
Yeah, if you just look up the One Big Beautiful Bill, it'll be right in there in the fine print for you.
Yeah, well, like what section of the bill?
I can go find it for you.
Yeah, I'm not saying that you're lying. I just haven't. I mean, I haven't heard that. I mean, I know some aspects of the bill, but not in its entirety. Like
let me go find it.
I'll make sure to double tap that phone so you hit that follow button if you haven't already. I'll also try to look it up. There's a.
All right, so right here, it says in the, it's in an executive order, and I'm not going to go through the Big Beautiful Bill, but it's in an executive order anyway. He also put in the Big Beautiful Bill, but it states that the Remain in Mexico policy is for non-Mexican asylum seekers and people apprehended at the border to wait in Mexico before their immigration court proceedings.
Yeah, in terms of asylum seekers, yes, I agree with you there.
People apprehended and asylum seekers.
What executive order is it?
People apprehended at the border, in my view, shouldn't even, like, if they're trying to enter legally and they get caught at the border, they should not, like, the catch and release policy was awful because what was happening was if you're apprehended at the border and you have a clean criminal record, you can wait for an immigration hearing in the U.S. even if you're not seeking asylum.
Hold on, but what's the executive order that you just read off saying that it includes all apprehensions?
I can go find that for you.
Yeah, because I mean, what I'm seeing here in terms of the Big Beautiful Bill, I didn't see that in there, but the executive order, I'd love to take a look at that. What up, you left supporter? Juan over there on YouTube. What's up? I think that's a bad thing. Yeah, yo host, you're a good boy. You misspelled your Y-O-U-R-E. Took me a second. Jesus, fuck, I'm tired. It's been 3 hours. Holy shit, I have an hour left. 10, I guess. Jeez, you're not tired. Oh, I've been on for 3 hours talking to a Trump supporter, so that says something. I talked to you, and that definitely says something, quite frankly.
So he re-signed on January 21st, 2025, the Migrant Protection Protocols Order. That was January 21st of 2025, so the day after he took office.
Let's see. American Immigration Council. You support Trump and hating on all of that. You don't like, yeah, literally. I mean, you've been in here for the last 2 days in a row. In December of 2018 and 2019, in 2025, the Department of Homeland Security announced on January 3rd that the MPP would be put back into effect for the third time for the Under MPP, certain non-Mexican individuals who arrive at the southern border and ask for asylum, either at the port of entry or crossing the border between port of entry, are given notices to appear in immigration court and sent back to Mexico. They are instructed to return to a specific port of entry at a specific day and time for initial court hearing. After the hearing, and blah, 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 which may be weeks or nothing, blah, blah, blah. This is known as the process whereby the customers of the CBP officials turn asylum seekers away from the ports of entry without processing them, providing them and the first human rights organization, blah blah blah. This is talking about asylum seekers, not just undocumented immigrants in general, or immigrants trying to cross.
You do realize that when undocumented immigrants go up to the border, they claim asylum. You do realize that, right?
I mean, yeah, there's different ways to claim asylum.
So yeah,
you can also claim asylum if you're here.
Is a broad umbrella. So people go up to the border, and basically you can go up to the border and you can say, "I am seeking asylum," and therefore you get an immigration. You are entitled the right to an immigration hearing if you claim asylum. So therefore, like people can just go up to the border. So under Biden, they go up to the border. They say, "All right, I'm claiming asylum," and then they say, "All right, we're going to keep you in the U.S. Usually Texas or Arizona or one of the border states. They're going to keep you there, and then you're going to wait your immigration hearing in the U.S." Do you think that that is a good policy?
But we're not talking about asylum seekers. I asked you, what has he done to decrease the amount of undocumented immigrants into the country? Asylum seeking is legal.
They get apprehended at the border and sent back to Mexico.
But that's for asylum seekers.
You do realize that when they go up and try to cross illegally, they claim asylum. You do realize that, right?
A majority of them do not claim asylum. We're talking about the
majority of them do claim asylum.
What's your source that a majority of undocumented immigrants claim asylum?
Let me go get you another source. I mean,
because I sent in the new and I'm informed you're just hating on the host because he's debating MAGA. Real Keegan's my good boy though. I mean, he's just gonna stay in the box until I tell him to leave. Quite frankly, he's a good boy. Someone say my goat. Someone get my goat Dean. Dean has watched a couple times. I don't think he's ever actually came into the live stream. And I mean, just here the argument would just be like what this guest is referencing is for asylum seekers. So people who seek asylum.
Go ahead and look at Executive Order 14159. I think that was the one.
The Laken Riley Act?
Yep.
Okay. What was your claim?
Non-authorized individuals apprehended at the border are subjected to immediate removal.
In what relevance does the Laken Riley Act have in this?
Because in the Laken Riley Act, there's a provision and a clause in there that says if you're apprehended at the border without legal status, you are to return to your country of origin.
So deporting undocumented immigrants.
Do you need me to go in there and find the fine print for you?
Hold on. What you just said is people who are
that for you.
Hold on. People who. The reason why I'm so confused is I just thought it was common knowledge. People who come across the border or attempt to come across the border and are here and are undocumented, they typically get sent back to their country of origin. That's like the law,
Then why
right?
were there 10 million border crossings under Joe Biden?
That's why I was so confused because that's already the law. What? I'm confused. That's already the law. I've never disagreed with you there.
Biden, you look at 10 million border crossings. I don't think. I mean, there really hasn't been we haven't put a gazillion better border agents at the border. It's just not letting them in after being apprehended.
Cherishing chat. Well, some estimates say 4 million. Other estimates say 20 million. We'll meet you in the middle. Say 10 million. The reason why I think that there was 10 million undocumented immigrants during Biden-Harris is because of what happened during COVID-19, and economies all across the world suffer, leaving people. That's the main reason why people come here into the country, because of their financial status in their own country, right? But I think that what Biden-Harris started to do in order to fix the issue of undocumented entry was a great thing in terms of the bipartisan border bill. Now, the reason why I'll just give you my opinion. The reason why I think undocumented entry into the United States of America has decreased is because Donald Trump has violated constitutional rights and human rights. I think that's going to be the main two reasons as to why people choose not to come here undocumented. I mean, this is corroborated with the fact that we've seen legal migration decrease for the first time ever in American history. Population growth slowed for the first time in American history because of legal migration decreasing. Not only that, tourism dropped, leaving cities like Las Vegas losing hundreds of billions of dollars. So that's corroborated with the fact that's my reason. Undocumented entry under Donald Trump has decreased because he's violated human rights and constitutional rights.
In what way? Because Donald Trump just sends them back to Mexico. Now Obama, if you want to talk about, if we want to go way back, we don't have to if you wouldn't like to. But if you want to go back, what'd you say? We
can talk about Obama.
All right, if you want to go back to Obama, there is photo evidence of him putting kids in cages. So, what about that is good human rights?
Don't agree with that.
Okay, so Trump's not doing that.
I mean, in terms of putting kids in cages, I don't know if kids. I know that you put people in cages, but those are going to be the worst of the worst. I mean, I definitely think that people like even like the worst of the worst need to have like unless they're going to get like the death penalty. I think that whatever, but. I mean, I could care less for them and talk about legally in terms of that, but it was the worst of the worst being put in cages. I don't know about kids 100%, but either way, I disagree with Obama and I disagree with Biden. I disagree with them because they deported people that didn't commit any violent crimes or bad crimes in terms of undocumented immigrants here in the country. They did that, and I disagree with that.
So we can talk about that. I'd be glad to talk about that. So when an illegal immigrant comes to the country, the reason why they should be deported, in my view, is reduces public spending. So like emergency services, healthcare, whatever. Wage increases for native-born United States people. Reduce housing demand, and especially in big cities. That's my main reason for why we should deport them if they're here illegally.
Reduces increases wages, reduces the amount increases the amount of homes available, and then decreases the amount of money spent on them, right?
Correct.
Okay. It is bipartisan that undocumented immigrants can qualify for emergency room in K through 12. That's all they qualify. That is a bipartisan, okay? Basic human rights. That is bipartisan. Both Democrats and Republicans agree with that. B, they don't qualify for any federal benefits in terms of Medicaid, Medicare, or food stamps. And B, they bring out more than they do.
If you look at this is going to be a study done by. Who was it done by? It'll come to me. Keep going.
Yeah, that's just, it's a bipartisan agreement that they can access those two. Other than that, they don't qualify for any federal benefits, and they bring in more than they take out, which brings into your third point. I'll talk about your second point, but your first and third point are like kind of similar. Third point, you're saying that it'll increase the amount of homes available. That's just, you're looking at one way. 1 out of 7 undocumented immigrants is a construction worker. So they are more into the supply side than the actual demand side. Why? Because most people who rent homes or own homes or apartments.
Goes back to my one point where I talked about, more jobs and wage increase for native workers. A study done by Penn Wharton says that if we had a 10-year Trump deportation policy, there'd be a 5 to 10% wage increase, and there would be over 10 million jobs created just in the construction field over 10 years with the Trump deportation policy. That's going to be a study done by Penn Wharton.
Okay.
And from the Bureau of Labor Statistics as well, 2 million native-born Americans gained employment in the first year of the Trump deportation policy.
Right. So, this is just going to be, I have my own difference. It's going to be American Immigration Council, which says that doing a mass deportation of 11 million unauthorized workers leads to 50,000 U.S.-born citizens to lose their job for every 500,000 immigrants removed, increased prices in terms of construction costs like labor, permits, etc., and increases grocery prices. And I think mine makes more sense because when you remove 11 million unauthorized workers, and 1 out of 7 of them are like construction workers, you're going to be taking away 1 out of every, like you're going to be taking millions of people who build homes, right? And they contribute more into building homes and actually taking more than the demand side, right? Because I mean, most people who rent homes or sell homes, they won't sell it to an undocumented immigrant typically. So I think yours doesn't make any sense. I mean, if you can provide any evidence as to how
So that's actually not
wages
true
would
either.
increase.
According to
Hold on, can you hold on? How are wages going to increase, and how are homes going to be available, and how are jobs going to be created if we remove 12 million people from our economy? How are more jobs going to be created?
more jobs are going to be created because you have more native-born people taking those illegal immigrant jobs. So the Bureau of Labor Statistics said in the first year of the Trump deportation policy, 2 million Native Americans gained employment in the first year of that policy, just in the construction and the agriculture industry. So there already is that's 2 million jobs created. That's a lot of jobs. And then obviously you have that study that says that the wages increased by 5 to 10%. And the reason for that is going to be because illegal immigrants get paid generally they're cheaper labor.
Can we talk about the first point real quick?
Yeah.
So again, you're looking at it at one point. I mean, you're saying you're presupposing that the jobs are still going to be there. If we have less people in terms of the demand side, there's also going to be less people. There's going to be no need for as much supply. Yes, and you can agree that yes, undocumented immigrants do live in homes, for whether it be however acquired, right? So if there's less people that need to buy homes, there's also going to be less jobs, right?
Don't see that correlation, but we can go to home prices. In the top 20 most populated cities in the United States, there were declining home prices by at least 10% in 14 out of 20 of them in the first year of the Trump administration, and that has been directly linked, but that is the Department of Housing and Urban Development. That has been directly linked by an independent study done by the University of Colorado at Boulder to the mass deportation policy.
Let's see. So you're saying HUD? Yeah, can you give me the title of the source that says that 14 out of 20 of the most populated cities had home prices drop by 10%? What's the title on HUD? I'm not really seeing that over on HUD. I'm gonna go to another Trump debating by host. I will. Thank you for coming in here, Jillian. Take care. Take care. Have a great day. Or great night, I should say.
All right, so there is one from the White House as well that has been backed by independent studies by numerous colleges.
Oh, hold on. Do you have the HUD one? The HUD?
The HUD one I cannot find. That was from earlier last year, but there is a White House thing on the same one, and that's going to be mass deportation for improving Americans' quality of life.
I mean, typically I don't trust the White House, but I'll just see what it says. Just saying. I mean, the White House has been known to lie about the numbers. I mean, just last month, I mean,
It has been backed by independent studies as well from numerous colleges, including University of Colorado at Boulder and Old Dominion University.
So, what's the source that this has been like backed by independent institutions?
Oh my god, dude! You gotta do more research, bro.
Huh? Yeah, I mean, you're the one making the claim, dude. I mean, I'm 90% sure you're like using AI, and then that's why, which is fine. Like, if you have the source for it, that's fine. I mean, I see what you're saying here, but this does not make any sense. Mass deportation equals lower housing costs. So, first off, where did they get the numbers of the lower costs? Like, where? Like, are these just numbers? They said the same thing about crime rates. That was a lie.
So that's been backed by also the AEI. And I also just
can I just make one point real quick over here? So the chart that is citing in the White House, Austin has seen a 6% drop year over year. Okay, so it's a little misleading. Cities in like Phoenix, Denver, and Miami have also seen a drop since 2022. Okay, so that chart is misleading. Yes. I never disagreed with the fact that prices of houses are dropping in 2025, but it's been a trend since 2023. Just the same thing as crime rates. Crime rates have been dropping since 2023, okay? And they also dropped in 2025. That doesn't mean that Trump didn't. It's a trend of decline, yes. You have to prove that this happened specifically to a greater extent because of mass deportation policies.
I will then point to the study done by the AEI and the study done by the Manhattan Institute.
Yeah, what are the titles?
Jesus Christ.
You know what, man? Have a great night. I'm going to hop off. It's been a long night. I've been on for like 3 hours. Hopefully we can finish the conversation a different day.